What is going on, Donut Friendly Nation? Sorry we're late. Facebook. What's new? I'll tell you when we get on. Looks like we're about ready to go green on Wimkin. Welcome to all my Wimkin peeps. We're growing on Wimkin, folks. Starting to get a few hundred views on the videos that we post every day, so it's all good. We're going to bounce off on Wimkin. What's new? So Facebook last night came on, and we'll wait for a few people to get back on. Code DUM10, DUM10 will get you 10% off at the DUM store, thedumshow.com, and head on over there right now. Get yourself a pretty little discount. Get yourself something nice. Pick yourself up something nice. Wimkin, W-I-M-K-I-N. Don. Oh, it's Don Herbert. I remember Don. Can you grab my abs hat down by in the workout room on the sub? Don. I remember Don. Isn't Don using an old Mark's rifle in this one? Yeah, didn't you and I get into a heated debate, Don? I remember something like that. You got 14 seconds to remember. You can tell me all about it. I've seen you around before, but yeah, you're shooting old sharps, right? Yeah, I know. I remember you. I remember everything like that. Photographs, pretty good with that. People. Anyway, 3 seconds. We'll be right back. Step into a Wimkin. Don says, yep, we did. Lots of laughs. All right, that's good. Well, I'm glad you're watching now, dude. Like I said, you'll figure me out pretty quick. I don't have a bedside manner. I just kind of tell it how it is. I'll explain to you in a second. What's up, man? Appreciate it, buddy.
Being so confused, you feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop arguing me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up on the facts with truth. Can't get down with that, you must be somebody's dad.
Hey, Matt, congratulations on your success, brother. And I really appreciate you giving, both sides, and just free speech, the opportunity to have a platform, dude.
Got it. You got it. Thanks for everything you've done for this country, Eli. We'll talk next time. Tell Jen hello, and I'll have this ready in a couple of hours, and you can share it and take a look. Thank you, man. Yeah, Mel, it's he watches the show. Oh God, and I don't know why I'm struggling. It's not Tommy Cawthorn, is it? I can't remember. I'll know like right when I see his name, and I don't know why I can't remember right now. But yeah, still watches. Oh, Don, don't worry about it. You're good, dude. Like, I don't take things personally. I really don't.
Thanks, brother.
All right, bye bye. What's going on, everybody? Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me show. I am proud to announce that the Documents of Freedom are back in stock. It's a 3-book collection, leather bound, by Arcadia Publishing. Starts out with the Bill of Rights, and it's the complete edition of the rights, so you can look up and reference anything your heart desires. Declaration of Independence with revisions and founder images included, beautifully illustrated. And last but not least, what would Documents of Freedom be without the Constitution of the United States of America in its entirety? The box is handmade by PFC Flags, custom engraving, all 100% made in the USA from the nails to the glue. And we have a 5-star rating. Yeah, it's Tommy. Thanks. I appreciate it, Ames. Satisfaction guaranteed, 150 sold, 5 stars or better. It is so important, especially in today's society, to ensure that the younger generation has these books available in the future. Get them for your family and friends, available right now. Head on over to thedumshow.com/books. Thanks so much.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. I am upgrading my premium subscription to Twitter right now. And I got to decide whether I'm going to monthly. $16 a month, huh? I don't know. Should I do it? Because they've been pretty good to me lately. They've been like, hey, let's they're starting my counts going up. And I think some of my comments may have may have impacted. And I truly believe that, because if you take a look last night, on what happened with Facebook, because I went after Mark Zuckerberg. I've never went after Zuckerberg ever. I mean, I've said some basic stuff, but I really went after him last night, like hard. And he was obviously pissed because they blocked my video and said if I don't delete it, it's going to downgrade my page. And I'm like, well, can you really downgrade it any more than you already have? I mean, seriously, the only thing you guys can do is like piss on it if you really wanted to. But that's where we're at. So I was thinking, another $8 a month to see how that goes on Twitter, because I would love to start making some money on Twitter, but it's really hard. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. We couldn't get on Twitter, and then now we're on, so that's good. If anyone has any problems, let us know. Looks like I think we're 5x5 everywhere else. A little bit slower on YouTube. Usually it picks up, but we had some error messages when I tried to log on, so that's why I was a little bit late. So hopefully everything will pick up. Good to have everybody here. By the way, we have been selling a ton of coffee, and the reason why is because it's winter. These are our most coveted possessions. This is the FJB style coffee with Joe Biden on the front cover, and this is our limited edition. So you get an amazing quality coffee here. So we've got 5 different roasts. This one has caramel and honey. It is actually made in Wisconsin, fresh by a veteran who buys, instead of the truckload, by the boatload, and goes once a year to Sumatra, Malaysia, goes to Italy, Hawaii, and all around the United States where they do have beans, and purchases his beans and cooks this stuff fresh. Like, we got these bags yesterday, and they're hermetically sealed. So they have that's a high quality bag. So it's like a polymer type bag with aluminum on the inside and like a vinyl. And these things are basically like pull to break seal. And when you do, I mean, God, it fills up the entire house. The aroma is incredible. But all of these are roasted within 2 or 3 days of your arrival. So it's completely fresh. And it's all made by the Don't Unfriend Me show. So we have that over on thedumshow.com. You get 10% off right now You can also subscribe and save and get it reloaded to you. Now it's a pound of coffee. A lot of people tell me on a French press, it'll keep you up for a day. Like people say all the time that like I do 8 cups of coffee every morning. Olivia and I split that. I do 4, she does 4. And I'll be honest with you, I can't do 4 cups of this stuff. It just absolutely just zings. But if you have a French press, it's even worse. So it's not strong. It's really good stuff. It's high quality stuff. So if you do 1 cup a day, it lasts most of my viewers a month, which is not bad. And if you go ahead and you do, 4 or 5 cups a day, 2 or 3 cups a day, you're looking at reloading every 3 weeks or so. So 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. So it's really good coffee. Give it a chance. Go over to thedumshow.com. You can also get shirts and stuff like that and all that. Okay, great. Now we've all done all that. What are we doing tonight? A whole bunch of stuff. First, I want to talk to you about something that was interesting. Chevelle, I'm sorry you had to cancel some of your streams. I'm sorry about that. If you need to cancel anything with us, let us know. And if you need a couple bags of coffee, just whatever we can do to help. We're all about it with everybody. So whatever we can do to help. So yesterday's show, this is what happened. Hi, Tommy. Someone's asking about your gun shop. I think it's Mel. She wants to talk to you. So what happened yesterday? So yesterday, you remember that we talked about some things about the assassination of Donald Trump, the attempts. We talked about abortion a little bit and a couple of other things, and then also the kids dancing and stuff. But they said that there was inappropriate content. And I went and looked at the content, and the content was drugs, violence, nothing that dude, I've been doing this show for 4 years. I have never had a live video flagged, even during COVID on YouTube. Sure. But never on Facebook. We don't cross that line. And we've said some stuff on this show, and the only thing that was different is that I ripped into Zuckerberg, and I laid into him because of what they've done to my business and what they've done to this channel. And I was absolutely ticked off. We got another check from Facebook. It was $121. I mean, if you could see how they have literally just cut a leg out from underneath this company, they took $8,500 a month from us, and then even months where we were doing $15,000 and $16,000 with Facebook, we had 12, 13 million people interacting with our site a month. Now we're at 400,000. I mean, they every single day they are just constantly throttling and constantly coming after us. So they told me last night, they blackmailed me. They said, and it is blackmail. They said, you need to, if you delete this, you won't go down in your standing, and your stuff won't go down in the stream. I mean, that's blackmail. It's essentially quid pro quo, but it is a form of blackmail, and it's saying if you don't do this or else. So, and the hard thing is like, well, you just don't do it. Well, yeah, but there's punishment if you don't do it, and it hurts your page. And then they're like, well, your page won't be shut down, it won't be closed, and it won't be harmed, and you won't get a strike, but we'll just stop recommending it to people. And you're like, well, that's just as bad. So, this whole thing is going to drop at some point. And when it does, and they expose these social medias, truly what they're doing to content creators, this is on the left and the right. This isn't just the right. They are hitting everybody. And this stuff's got to stop. Just go to wimkin.com. That's so true. I just go to Wimkin. Anyway, am I going to upgrade? Yeah, I'm going to upgrade. I'm going to upgrade on Twitter. I'm going to give them $16 a month. Why not? Because ultimately, I want to make more than that. So let's see if this helps. And if it doesn't help my rankings, I'll do something else. But my allergies are killing me. It's almost fall. And dude, so bad during the fall. Like I have a beard brush that I just literally go on my nose, and it itches. It's all that cocaine. That's a joke. So see, there's the illicit drug use. Facebook's going to blank this video too. So I wanted to share something with y'all. It's kind of interesting. Is my daughter, I think it was Don that we were just talking. I can't remember. But the gentleman with the Sharps rifle, we went ahead and had a little argument a while ago. And I remember all these. I remember people. I remember your avatar. I remember your name. I'm really good at that. I can't remember you by your face when I meet you, but if I read it, I'll remember every conversation I've ever had on here. It's pretty cool. But I was explaining to him that I don't hold grudges, but my bedside manner is just pretty straightforward. Can someone help Suzanne with Wimkin, please? Because I can't, but this is a really easy situation. Suzanne, I know one thing: you have to sign up all the way through. You've got to pick a picture profile. You got to do the whole thing. But Olivia or Amy, can somebody help Suzanne, please, and take care of her? Thanks. So what had happened was Hayden came up and she came home and she was wearing knee-high cowgirl, like go-go boots, because she's going to wear a black dress to homecoming. And this thing is barely qualifies as a dress. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's barely a hand towel. Makes me sick. And, but it's what they're wearing. The days of wearing the ankle prom dresses and the bell, Disney gowns, that shit stops. They wear stuff that I'm just like, oh my God. So it's a Halloween homecoming. So they're all dressing as skeletons and wearing green and oranges and all that to go with the theme. And she's wearing black. So, and she's wearing white go-go boots and she has to look like a skeleton. So I'm like, I bought her new earrings and a new necklace and a bracelet to go along with her gowns and stuff. And then we're going to go and get her hair done. And she's like, no, Dad, I don't want you to do that. And I said, bull crap. You're getting your hair done and you're getting a makeover and you're getting your nails done. And we're giving you the full thing before you go. You're doing this right. And she goes, well, I'm not going to go to homecoming with anybody. I'm going by myself. She's going to dress like Nancy Sinatra, pretty much. Yeah, these boots are made for walking. That's just what they do. One of these days, these boots are going to walk all over you. So she's having this thing where here, I'll put a picture up. And she has this thing where she's changing her hair and she's naturally curly. A lot of people don't know that my daughter pretty much looked like Shirley Temple when she was younger. I mean, a spitting image. And her hair is naturally curly, so she straightens it. Well, she ruined her hair because she would straighten it so much with like a flat iron and stuff. So we got her taken care of. We took her to a beautician and they fixed her hair and all this other crap. And she's been embracing her curl and it looks like she has a perm. And when I say perm, I mean poodle perm. And she's been putting in a shite ton of product. Now, I've kept my mouth closed. And I wanted to tell her, honey, this looks horrible. But I love you. But I kept my mouth shut. So she came home today and she had her hair like this. The way that she was doing it before, she looked like a poodle. That's her over to the right. And she's beautiful. And everybody knows she's beautiful. And what she's been through is incredible over the last couple of years. But she is just a very smart, very pretty young lady. And everyone's like, well, she'll be beautiful no matter what hair she has. That's not true. Her hair looked horrendous. And I didn't know how to tell her. And I didn't know how to say, honey, it's not the best. So I tried to explain to her that there is a fine line between this and ultra curly. And I said, you may not want to go ahead and use the flat iron and burn your hair all the time, but you also don't want to have a perm like Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. So she came down today and she did her hair like this for her pictures. Just natural, wavy, very pretty. And I hadn't seen her look like that in almost 6 months. And she was wearing shorts and a sweater and the stupid go-go boots, but she looked beautiful. And to the point where it bothers me because she's now turning into a young lady and I see her and she took my breath away just because I'm just like, my God, she's beautiful. And I'm like, I can go get my guns. I got to lock and load here. People are going to be coming over and knocking on the door soon. And I need to get that application for boyfriends and find out where I'm going to bury the bodies and all that stuff. So I just was like, as a dad, every dad knows what I'm talking about. You see your daughter grow up and then she becomes a young lady and you're like, holy crap, it's not my little girl anymore. She's going to start dating, and in the next, 10, 12 years, she's going to be married. And she saw me and she's like, what? And I just said, you look beautiful. You look beautiful today. I just wanted to tell you. And she lit up, right? She completely lit up. And she goes, Dad, don't hate the boots. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. You want to wear those boots or that dress? That's your choice. And she goes, well, thank you. That really means a lot. I said, can I tell you something though? And I'm like, your hair looks horrible. And I haven't been able to tell you in 4 months because I just want you to be happy. But you came to me and said that no boys that ask you to homecoming, and it's not all about looks, but Haiti, your hair that you got going on, it doesn't look good. You look like a poodle. And she's like, I know. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to win. And she's like, I know. I just don't know what I can do. I said, listen, I don't care if it costs me, my firstborn, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure out whatever it takes to get your hair done the way you want, as long as you're happy. And I said, but here's the thing. I think you look just great right now. And so does your mom, and she didn't tell you. And so does your brother, and he didn't tell you, but I'm going to tell you. And then mom's like, yeah, it's true. And then brother's like, Hayden, it's true. And she's like, do you think a boy will ask me to homecoming if I wear it straight? And I said, Hayden, you don't have to do anything for a boy. You have to address what makes you feel good and what you like or don't like about who you are. And as long as you're comfortable, who cares what I say? I'm just telling you the truth. And so she smiled, and her self-esteem was through the roof, and she felt great. And she sits down at the table, and I look at her and I said, hey, I hope you understand that you can always come to me for the truth. And she's like, oh yeah, Dad, like if I ever need the brutal truth, I'm coming to you. And I'm like, oh, and she's like, no, wait a second. Brutal's not a bad thing. There are times where people need to hear the absolute truth, and you don't need to beat around the bush. And I'd rather have you just rip off the Band-Aid and tell me. And I'm really glad you told me about my hair, because I kind of felt the same way, but I didn't do anything about it because some people liked it. And I was like, I guess that's not too bad. The point is, there's nothing wrong that if you're honest with people, as long as you set them up for the fall, you know what I mean? You got to ask permission. Hey, listen, I've got some feedback for you. You're not going to like it, but is it cool if I give it to you? And my daughter's bulletproof. Like, that's the one thing I love about her. You can't phase her. Like the bullies, when they went after her, she tore them apart. She's just like, yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. Some people would say things and she's like, I can see that. And then she doesn't give them anywhere to go. Or she's like, listen, this isn't about me. You were angry the moment you came on the bus today. What's wrong? You okay? What's wrong with your family? Everything good at home? Do you need to talk? You need a hug? What can I do for you? Or it gets to a point where if you lay another finger on me, I'm going to break your face and I'm going to smash it into the ground until you stop moving. That's my daughter. She knows how to go from 0 to 60 really quick. A girl kept bumping into her in the halls in the locker room, and she finally turned around and said, listen, I've tolerated this for about as long as I'm going to. The next time you bump into me, I'm going to put your head in a locker. I'm going to smash it repeatedly. So FAFO. So my daughter's not fazed by that stuff. And the one thing that I know is that she is ready to go against anybody who tries to hurt her mentally or physically. These liberal campuses, she's not going to bend. She's like, I am 100% against abortion. She goes, in fact, if I was pregnant and it was my baby's life or mine, and they felt that my baby had a chance to live, I would continue to have the baby even if my life was forfeit. And I'm just like, oh, okay, slow down. And she's like, you're not going to change my mind. This is how I feel. So Hayden's very opinionated. But the point is I was just trying to help people understand and getting you to get it, is that there are times when you need to get the brutal truth. And it shouldn't stop you because you're afraid of hurting somebody's feelings. You need to prepare them for who you are. And the problem is a lot of people are fake with who they are. And then when they try to be genuine and real, it bothers people because they're like, this isn't you. Why are you doing this? So my recommendation is just be honest and real with people from start to finish, and then they will allow you to impact their life. Once again, I told you, people won't allow you to change them or help them change unless they like you or unless they understand who you are. I wonder where Hayden gets that from, 0 to 100 real quick. Well, Amber, there's a difference, is that my temper is usually warranted. There was a time where I would get frustrated for no reason, but you may notice that more often than not, when I lose my patience with people, it's because they are starting or antagonizing that. Now, there's times where I've been wrong, where I read something in comments, but you can understand the context with me reading it because I can't see replies, how I would apply it to me and then get frustrated. So I've learned to kind of stop and qualify. And Olivia checks and goes, wait, that was a reply. Don't respond. But surprisingly enough, when I get into it with people on the show, when it comes to callers or whatever, it very seldom gets to this egregious, just browbeating type level, unless that person is just completely obnoxious. So I thank you so much, Sandra Casey. I appreciate it, donating to the show. I think my daughter gets it from my wife and I, both for sure. But yeah, she knows how to take care of herself. Okay, let's get to it. We got some stuff to do. By the way, folks, if you do not know, linktapgo.com/thedumbshow right here below me. We're 100% funded by you, and we are viewer funded. And the reason why is because Facebook did take 90% of our revenue. And for the last 5 months, y'all have been amazing and helped us get to our goal each month. We're about $850 shy of our goal. We've got about 6 days to get there. Pretty sure we can do that. Your help means the world. So if you could, go to linktapgo.com and you can click the donate button through PayPal and donate to the show. We also have a P.O. box where if you want to send something to us directly, those are the 2 ways to help us out. And we thank you so much. Thank you, Dusty Dinkelman. Oh my gosh, he skis in his jeans. Dinkelman. All right. Big intro. Sorry for the long intro, folks. We had a lot to cover. I want to go over a couple things. And the first thing, I want you to listen to this. This is Jill Biden. And we all know that Jill got to sit into Jill Biden got to sit at essentially a staff meeting with Joe Biden, and it was turned over to her. Now, this has been done before. Nancy Reagan has done this. Hillary Clinton has done this. But this is actually something for the Clinton Global Initiative, which, man, this is really weird. And it's that $500 million from the Department of Defense was moved into the Women's Health Research. Why is she announcing it? Why is it going into the Clinton Global Slush Fund? Oh, I'm sorry, the Clinton Global Initiative. And it's almost like the Bidens are shoring up their debts. That Joe is completely out of the picture. And Jill is going around and writing the checks to keep people quiet. Let's watch this real quick. And you can tell me, am I missing something? Because it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm a little confused. I don't understand why the First Lady is talking about money. I don't know why she's talking about the DOD.
And I'm so
and
glad
I
that
certainly don't understand why she's talking about the Clinton Global Initiative. Here it is.
I'm so glad that you invited me here today, is this big announcement. So the Department of Defense has now committed $500 billion to women's health, to women in the service, which then transcends to all women. Mm-hmm. And so I'm so excited about that. It's a big deal, and it's about time. So we're going to get moving on this.
Huh? What in the frack? So you can take a look at the community notes on here. This is not the job of the Department of Defense giving the DOD, blah, 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 blah. You can go to the Federal Registry and look at the Defense Department and what they're completely over. But really, I have no idea what this is. And I have no idea why the Department of Defense is throwing money into the Clinton slush fund. I don't think anyone understands that. So women's health research, what does that mean? Is that abortion? Is it IVF? Is it breast cancer? Is it mental imbalance? Okay, I was just teasing. Sorry. Well, what is it? So I've been doing research on this all day, and I can't find anything. And, even doing a soft search in Twitter, First Lady Jill Biden announces the Pentagon intends to commit $500 million to women's health research. Dana Lash is all over it. Dana, why'd you cut your hair? My God, girl. Dude, you're a smoke show. Why are you cutting your hair? Jeez, Dana. I gotta listen now because I'm frustrated.
Announces that the Pentagon is going to commit $500 million to women's health research as part of a broader White House push to increase funding for the study of women's health. What?
Yeah, I'm with her.
Why is the Pentagon?
I didn't cut my hair over it. What the hell are you doing, Dana? Dana, you need to call me before you do stuff like this. Seriously. There's an expectation that I have of you, and that's those beautiful, long, black locks. Listen, there is nothing like an olive-skinned, black-haired woman with brown eyes. I don't know what the hell you're thinking. You really need to check with me when you do things like this, okay? I'm a little disappointed.
Doing this. They should just kick ass and win wars.
Yeah, I agree with her. I don't agree with the hair. I agree with everything else.
They don't actually say what the need is. They actually don't get into.
Is there a new female ailment that we don't know about? Is this about Mpox? What is this about? Can't be about Mpox, clearly.
Monkeypox.
So what,
I said the same. I was saying like abortion. Is this breast cancer? Is this I've got a Black Widow? I got to kill my man disease. What is this?
What are we doing?
Why don't I have somebody like that who like Olivia's on camera, but I got to have the faceless person. Bongino has him. Dana Lausch has him. Everybody's got a person who doesn't show up on camera, who just talks behind the scenes. I don't have that. Can I get somebody to do that? Can I get an AI person or something? It's kind of cool, because you just get to sit there and they just feed you stuff. And, they do like the Ed McMahon. You're correct, sir. That's what I need. I also need Dana Lash not to cut her fucking hair. What are you doing? You're a smoke show. You look like an Egyptian goddess. What are you doing? Dana. Jeez.
I don't know. We got the gender neutral sub. I don't know. We have our borders wide open, and we have all of this international instability.
You still look good, but the short hair, it's got to go. Take the next year and a half and work on that for me. Thank you, Dana. I appreciate it. I want to know what it's for. Everyone else is in the same position as I am. What is this for? And why don't we get some, was this in the budget? So Donald Trump goes ahead and takes $1.2 billion, moves it from the defense budget, moves it into getting a border wall. But this chick wants to go ahead and, I don't know, study the ramifications of ovulation and Black Widow syndrome in women, and it's okay? Melanie says, Matt, it's a health condition. What the hell does that mean? Her hair is a health condition? What happened? What do I not know? What's wrong with Dana Lausch? Dana may have headache issues with long hair. Hair grows back. What? Ladies, can you understand sarcasm? Number one. First of all, Dana Lausch doesn't know me a fucking thing. Number two, who cares? We're talking about something as insignificant as looks. Give me a break. Is there some health issue I need to know about so I can retract my hurtful comments? Does she have what is it called? Propecia or whatever it's called? I hope it's not cancer or something. Breast cancer? God, for the love. Someone tell me. Okay, everyone's going to rail against me. Now Glenn's like, I think she looks pretty cute with short hair. Okay, you know what? I'm just telling you what I think. It was thinning, and the meds made it dried and brittle. What meds? Would they help me out? Stop. Why is this? Okay, either I'm going to find out about Jill Biden's $500 million spending spree or Dana Lausch and what's wrong with her first. Can someone please educate me? Help me. My mother had migraine headaches her whole life. You don't need to tell me. I understand. That has nothing to do with it. Can someone please tell me what's wrong with Dana Lausch? What meds? Alopecia. That's propecia, whatever. Same thing. Alopecia. That's the stuff that get my wife's name out of your mouth. Psh. That's what Jada Pinkett Smith has. Even though they saw her unshaved head and she actually had a lot of growth in all those areas, and people are like, Anyway. See, I'm not going to move on until I find out what's going on. When I was going through chemo and such, my hair fell out. Does she have cancer? It's alopecia, Matt. Whatever. Fear of the double. Okay, I can't get an answer. Okay, you know what? What's wrong with Dana Lausch? Now I'm upset. Dana, you just need to come on my show and tell me. You owe it to me, obviously. She doesn't even know who I am. What's wrong with Dana Lausch? Sick? Question mark? I don't see anything. There's nothing here. Okay, so someone educate me because I'm confused. Nobody has anything. Nothing's wrong with her. Okay, then Dana, I hate your haircut. There it is. Hate your haircut. Hate it. Hate it. I think women should have long hair. I think page boy cuts are wrong. I think Karen cuts are wrong. I think women should have long hair, and they're beautiful. And you had gorgeous hair. I mean, Dana Lausch, come on, dude. Seriously? She was smoke show. She's still a smoke show. I'm not saying she's not a smoke show. She's beautiful. Long hair, short hair, doesn't matter. She's still gorgeous. But dude, you're freaking kidding me. I mean, come on. One person tell me that this, and you know, she doesn't know me a gosh darn thing. Come on, seriously? Give me a break. This and this, you tell me. Come on. She looks like Sandra Bernhardt with the short hair. I mean, look, come on. Like, please. Migraines. I'd put up with migraines because I find this to be, it's giving me a headache. That's not fair. You can't cut off your hair and give me a headache to get rid of your headache. So I'm going to say no. I hate having long hair. It's hot and it's to keep up. Maybe she just wanted a different look. Okay. People take this shit way too seriously. Is this like apple pie and what a pie is and what isn't? Are we going to do this? Are we really going to be like, today I'm going to take offense. I'm going to take offense that Matt thinks Dana Lausch looks better with long hair. Really? Karen, that's not a split end cut. Okay. Look. Okay. Karen, perfect example. Karen, perfect example. One of my favorite pictures of all my people on my show. I love this picture because it's like a mix between the Partridge Family and like Jacqueline Smith. Karen in this picture. Look at this. It's a great picture. Beautiful. Long hair. Did I say that short hair is ugly? No, I never. Did the words ugly ever come out of my mouth? No, I said, I think women should have long hair. And I think long hair looks better than short hair. Why is that a controversial thing? Why does she have to have propecia or alopecia or cancer in order for it to be okay? She can look whatever way she wants. I'm just going to go ahead and say that I think Dana Lausch is a smoke show with long hair, and I don't think it looks as good. That's okay to say, right? You keep talking about it, therefore we keep commenting. Yeah, but you keep commenting is why I keep talking about it. Like, I would have been off this topic a long time ago if everybody was like, yeah, she's Slavic looking. Slavic women should who have very chiseled features. Long hair frames their face better. Completely. I find it hysterical that men think women should have long hair. I didn't say I think she should have long hair. I said her long hair looks better than short hair. That's what I said. You're getting upset. I didn't say she should be anyway. I didn't say she'd have big boobs or small boobs. I didn't say she should have a big butt or small butt. I didn't say she should gain weight, lose weight. I didn't say she should keep her hair black. I just said she looks better with longer hair. No, I'm not going to fuck yourself. It's my show, Roxanne. No, GFY. I'm going to talk about it all night. I'll be here we'll do this for 2 hours. We'll talk about Dana Lausch's hair for 2 hours. Why don't we just let go of it? Why can't I have an opinion about Dana Lausch's hair? I think she looks better with long hair. Can I get an amen from some guys out there who agree with me, or even women, whatever? No judgment. I'm not moving on. It's not going to happen, Kat. No. You don't know me by now? I'll do this all night. I'm not moving on at all. Alexander says she's on a combination of drugs. What are we talking? Why? Why is she on drugs? What is going on with Dana Lausch? Melanie says, Matt, I'll be Olivia's voice back to the show. No, I don't want to get yelled at. I don't want to get yelled at by everybody. No, Melanie, you can't. Kat, you can't. No, you guys can't come on. You're going to yell at me. She has very strong features, yeah. Hold on, where's the... Oh, Chevelle says, I don't like clean-shaven guys. Beards and long hair are more natural. Thanks. Wait, long hair? Oh, yeah, that's not going to happen. But I got the beard down. I think some like to yank your chain. Thomas, wouldn't it be funny if I like to yank people's chain? That's what I'm doing. Man, I gaslit this entire show for like 2 hours on pie crust. Could it possibly be that I'm doing the same thing with Dana Lausch's hair? She wrote about it on her Instagram. What did she say, Melanie? Tell me why is this a big secret? Tell me. Put it in text, Melanie. Dana Lausch is suffering from ? I want to know. My sister's hair was down past her butt. She had it cut short, shoulder length. She wanted a different look. Great. That's great. Darla, that's awesome. I'm glad your sister did that. If I saw a picture of your sister and she looks better with longer hair, I'm just going to say, wow, she looks much better with longer hair. Maybe she looks better with short hair. I might say, hey, you look great with short hair. In this case, Dana Lausch looks better with longer hair. Suzanne says, I have no hair. That's why I have my puppy pickup. It's okay. But see, the funny thing is when I'm making a comment about Dana Lausch, it doesn't mean I'm making a comment about all women. I just said that Dana Lausch looks better with long hair. I think Hillary Clinton looks better with long hair. If that's possible, it's not. Came to say hi. Hey, Tuner. Leafs tryout team playing in Ottawa tonight. Well, good. Let's see how they do. Matt, I will be Olivia's voice. Hair on. I agree. Amen. I love women with long hair. So thank you, boys. Thank you, boys. Holy shit, Joseph. Sorry, that's when I blew up one. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You go, Matt. Amen. Thank you so much, Karen. It's just because I gave you a compliment and said you look like between the Partridge Family and Jacqueline Smith. That's why you said that. But that's okay. Flattery gets me places too. Amy Stamcombe says amen. Amen, Matt, from a woman. There we go. Bobby, thank you. It's gonna be long hair, short hair, pie, cake, long hair. Amen, Matt. Yeah. Has it? You said why? You said she was on a combination of drugs, but why is she on drugs? Listen, I'm dead serious. Is there something wrong with Dana Lausch that I don't know? And can someone please fill me in? Like Dan Bongino, I knew what the cancer Dan Bongino had, and I left him a message. If something's wrong with Dana Lausch, I want to write her and tell her, because that woman is one of the reasons I got in this business. I had a chance to meet her at the NRA when we were doing flags for the NRA, and I met her at the Marine Corps Marathon. She's an amazing human being who I admire. All bullshit aside about the short hair, long hair thing, if something's wrong with her, I want to know. Suzanne says, I liked her hair that long. So did I. It looks like I'm winning now. Anxiety and fatigue. Okay. So thank you so much. I don't know what anxiety medicine, but you know what? Good for her. And then that is probably, it's amazing. I fought through my anxiety and my fatigue that I had because of my back problems by stopping eating, working out and lifting and changing my physical appearance. So it's common. So it makes sense. So I'm glad she did it. Good for her. If that brings her any type of solace or peace, then I'm all for it. I'm just still saying she looked better with long hair. Candy says, then bye. Bye. See ya. Why can't we all agree to disagree? Well, we are now. We weren't a second ago. Evelyn says, I love my long hair. That's awesome. Good night, everyone. I'll look into this tomorrow. That whining about hair. It's not whining about hair, Jazzy. It's just a topic that we're talking about. Don't get upset, people. You wrap that hair around your wrists and they can't get away. Okay, Ramon. I think everyone's now for me and against you. That's a little weird. A little Bill Cosby-ish. Mike Blankman likes guys with beards. Is Candy new? I don't recognize the name. I think Candy's new and gone. She's like, screw this place. Crystal Gale. Exactly. Beautiful hair. Gorgeous hair. Alexandra says, I did that. I didn't see it, but I saw the anxiety thing. Is that what you're talking about? Change of life and medications. Good for her. Like I said, I'm not making fun of her. I just said she looks better with long hair. I don't understand. Anxiety. Thank you. My husband loved my long hair. Matt's always sideways. It's funny you missed the D. I got a comment for you, Glenn. Fatigue. Alexandra's getting a little upset. I see it now. I got it. I understand. Oh my gosh. A guy with a beard. Very handsome. I still have long hair at 72. Should I cut it? No. Well, I don't. You know what? I better not say anything. In my humble opinion, your statement that women should have long hair is sexist. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Then I'm sexist. I didn't say women should have, they should have long hair for me because I think it's more appealing. But that's like someone saying women should have big boobs. Women should have big butts. Women should have black hair. Women should have brown hair. I prefer blondes. I prefer slender women. I prefer thicker women. Why is that sexist? What do you like your men fat and ugly and stupid? No, you probably I like my men, somewhat in decent shape, fairly intelligent, well kept, right? Well, that's sexist of you. How dare you? How dare you want a man to look a certain way? Do I think all women must have long hair? That's not what I said. Should. That's just my opinion. You know what? And when I walk out in the middle of the day, that big glowing thing in the sun or in the sky, it better be the fucking sun. And when I go out at night and there's a big glowing thing out there, it better be the moon. Because if it's not, I got a problem. I just think that certain things should be a certain way. I think women should have long hair. I don't want to confuse a woman for a guy. I'm sorry. I don't. Does that mean that I believe they're in Project 2025? Let me call Trump. Donald, can you put in Project 2025 that you don't endorse that all women should have long hair? Thank you. No. But to me, all women should have long hair because I think they look better with long hair. That's not sexist. I think all women should have long hair when they're cooking in the kitchen making me a pot pie. I don't think so. Are we going to go to war with Mexico? Fuck Mexico. We're talking about hair, Thomas. Mexico finalized plans to take control of a port and quarry owned by Vulcan Materials on its Caribbean coast. We'll talk about it. I don't care how long or short my hair is. I need an elastic. I need an elastic on my wrist. Am I off topic or ... I don't care. Are you talking about my brace? Listen, this is from repetitive stress of typing and creating these beautiful shows and articles for you. This is also from lifting. So I wear it so it doesn't hurt. Were you making fun of my brace? But here's the thing. If you don't like my brace, and you're my partner and you say, I don't like your brace, well, that's fine. You can say it. But I'm not going to take it off. Now, if we go to bed, I'm going to take it off. But just because you don't like something, it's really immaterial. It's just my personal opinion. It's your personal opinion. I don't like hats. Okay. But I'm my own person and I'm going to wear a hat. So Dana Lausch, if she was on, I'd be like, Dana, you had lovely, long, beautiful hair. You shouldn't have cut it. Do you think that's the conversation I'm going to have with her? Do you think that's even something I would remotely bring up? No, of course not. I'd probably compliment her on her short hair because I don't want her to leave my show. But I'm just telling you, in the scheme of things, she looks better with long hair. No, don't cut it. I'm 78. Mine's long. Pain and she cannot concentrate. Okay, so that's interesting. Alexandra, there is a delay in chat. Relax. Let's Goose Fraba. 3 times. Okay. 3 times. I got it. I'll tell everyone the secret. Men love women with long hair because, yeah, I'm not going to repeat. That's not why I do it. See, this isn't a sexual thing for me. I just think women look lovely with long hair. Holy shit, people. Out of all the things we're going to talk about tonight, I had no idea that this was going to be the one that just had made people lose their shit. No, I'm not lying at all. I would never pull my wife's hair like that. Ouch. No, that's not why. I love it because I think it makes a woman. It's a feature. It's lovely. I like to run my fingers through it. I love it when they throw it to the side. I love it when they get out of the shower and their hair. It's an aesthetic thing. It's not a sexual thing. Oh my God, this is fucking crazy. I love this. I had a friend who used to braid her husband's hair too before we went to work. Okay. Charduff. Thank you, Charduff. You're new here. Charduff says, I love the long hair on women. Me too. All the men in movies go crazy when they take the pins out of the... Yes. Oh, completely. Oh, yeah. What was her name? Hello, boys. Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth, man, when she just... forget about it. Okay, Alexandra, you don't need to say... there's a delay. I understand. I've listened to you. I got you. Matt, are you going to give your opinion on these swing state polls? Signs that Trump is way up? Yeah. As soon as we get past the hair thing, I'm reading comments. People are still on the hair thing. Listen, this could be an all-night thing, but your hair's lovely, by the way, Jen. Looks fantastic. I love the sun hat, the whole yellow. It just bounces everything. Brings out your eyes. Looks great. The natural highlights of your hair. It's fantastic. Yes, I'll cover those polls. I already did that on last Friday's show. You should watch it. Glenn says, don't go. Christine says, all I could find was that she's recently hospitalized, but there were no details. Okay. Well, I wish her the best. Dana Wash kid has an autoimmune disorder. Nothing on her specifically, according to Google. Okay. So it's really stressful. Alexander's like, ha ha ha. I couldn't find anything about her health. Okay. Are we almost done? Scott says, these pretzels are making me thirsty. Are you talking about the human pretzel that I am getting tied up? This is hilarious, but seriously, little boys get hair wrapped. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say, what the hell? I'm not going to talk about, I need my wife. Where's my wife? Livia, help. Maybe she donated to Cancer for Kids. Maybe she did do that. Locks for Love. You guys remember Locks for Love? When did Matt having an opinion cause so much ruckus? No shit. Oh my God.
This is the one I should have been on.
Are you listening to this?
Long hair, yeah, long hair. Short.
Dana Lausch. People are flipping out because I said she looked better with long hair and shouldn't have cut it.
Look better with long hair.
What the hell? This is awesome.
She does look better with long hair.
Bobby says, when did Matt having an opinion cause so much ruckus? Good afternoon, everyone. Whose long hair are we talking about? Oh, Tom, welcome to the show. Dana Lausch.
Mine.
Your hair looks gorgeous, by the way. If you cut it short, I'd divorce you.
What?
Matt, long hair over long necks. Oh, no, for real, Matt. Matt's got me. See?
Long hair.
Or when they throw it to the side, dude, and expose the neck, forget about it. My husband liked my hair. Olivia comes in. She's like, she does look better with long hair. Don't know the reason why she cut her hair. Okay, I like women. I think I'll go wash my hair now. Cat, don't leave. Dude looks like a lady. Matt, oh my God, I'm literally sick of hearing sexism or masculinity BS. I love my I know shit. It's like if I'm sexist because I think women look better with long hair, then fuck it, I'm sexist. I think we established it a long time. My wife cooks pot pie in the kitchen. Matt, do you check out Ralph's Kid? Yeah, we're going to talk about it. If we can get to it. Mel, you look lovely with short hair. I've seen pictures of you with longer hair. And I've seen pictures of you with shorter hair, and you look great with short hair. See? You have a very slender neck, and you have a very slender face, oval face. So your hair goes very well with it. You remind me of Julie. She was on Fox News. She was the intelligence analyst who left Fox and I think she went with MSNBC. I don't remember her name, but she looks lovely with short hair. Mel, you look just like her. Thanks, Matt. I tried to open a story about her being in the hospital and it said my phone was hacked. That's not my fault. My God. The big glowing thing in the sky is named Bob, Big Orange Ball. Yeah, that's from a book by the Guardians of the Flame, Walter Slavatsky. I think Slavatsky's Law number 27. That big orange thing in the sky better be the sun, bucko. No, but you should tie up your long blonde locks. I don't have any hair. Okay, we almost done? Amber says, shall we start the conversation thongs or granny panties? No. Most women with long hair wear a hair toe on their wrist. Thank you, Joanne. I don't know what a hair toe is. Is that like a hair tie? Oh, a hair tie on their wrist. I see. The actress from Alien looked pretty hot with short hair. We'll say it depends. Oh yeah. Ripley. How the hell can I know? Oh, Sigourney Weaver. Yeah. Sigourney Weaver is always good looking though. She's always surprisingly hot. Like, have you seen her in Galaxy Quest with a blonde wig? Forget about it. Megan had long hair, cut it, and thought she would leave it long. It's back to long. Or why she likes 5 styles. Okay. Joanne Kingsley Thomas. Mine is always braided. Never wear it loose. Is your hair longer now, Mel? It is a little bit longer. Is it still short? Because in the picture it's short, and that's the way I remember you. But it is a little longer now, isn't it? Okay. Everyone has different attributes that they're attracted to. My ex liked long hair, and so I kept it because he liked it. Now my son with autism got upset with me cutting my hair or dyeing it dark. Okay. Matt Howen, it's Matt. Facebook is going to flag this for sure. Oh, absolutely. Sexism. I've always wanted long hair, Darla says. Ramon, I throw in pineapple pizza. Oh, don't even get me started on pineapple. Thanks, Matt. You're welcome, Jen. See, Jen, was that sexist for me to say you look good with long hair? No. All right, we almost done? Is everyone done? Are we good? Everything's going on the White House. Guys, if we can't not talk about politics for one night and not flip the fuck out, then we've got a problem. Who's Dana Lausch? Matt, thank you. You're welcome, Mel. We're almost done? I'm reading everything. My sis did Locks of Love multiple times. Yeah. This is a hairy subject. Good job, Darla. There we go. Comedy, granny panties. Next hot topic. I'll be honest with you, man. I think there's nothing like Hanes cotton. And I don't care if it's a thon. I don't care if it's a G-string. I don't care if it's full back. Whatever. Cotton, Hanes. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. I've never worn a hair tie on my wrist either. Okay. Sigourney. Yeah, Sigourney Weaver. Sorry, I'm a little behind. A lot of people are commenting. This is obviously a very contentious topic. I cannot say the joke I want to. I'm sure I'd get... Ooh, I'm not going to say anything. Holly Berry looks great with short hair. Perfect example. I'm crying, Amber says. Right, Matt, this has been great. Yeah. Judy says, so done. Why? Why can't we just laugh? Why do we have to get so fucking serious? Why do we have to talk about the doom and gloom all the time? Why do I have to tell you how stupid liberals are? Why is that the only thing we can do? Seriously, people, like we don't have to make this so serious every time. There's no reason for it. If we can't laugh once in a while and make fun of each other and just have a good time, then what are we doing? I'm sorry. Matt, you should wear a Joe Dirt wig. Halloween's coming up. Don't tempt me, dude. All right. We good? Holy shit. This will go down as the second biggest troll ever on this show. I don't think I've ever gaslit people so hard, so fast. I mean, ridiculous. I mean, like that. One comment and it just, woo, the whole world blows up. I don't even know if I believe what I just said, but holy shit, I'm going to keep saying it now. You guys know Marina Bachrana from Deadpool? She had short hair in V when she played Diana. She looked good. She looked good. But she also looks better with long hair. She also looks like Dana Lausch. Okay, we good? We're good. All right, let's go. Yeah, if you're going to leave the show, you guys are having fun. I'm leaving. Holy shit. Come on, people. No reason for that. You know, if it's not your cup of tea, just hang out. It'll change. God, I'll get off topic in a second. Just cut me some slack. I was trying to go to, one of the problems with X.com is it's really easy to go to a site you don't want to go to. Just let you know. He should have thought of that. This is a freaking hot topic. I'm going to put it up on the site. I'm going to be like, women should have long hair. Just drop that bomb and just be like, woo, this thing's up to 17 million. I know. Yeah, let your hair down and have some fun. All the euphemisms. Let it all hang out. Let it loose. Stop having fun. It ain't that hard. I'm working on it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to load X.com. Like I said, it's very easy to screw that up if you've got, little shake or too many keystrokes. I'm working on it, folks. A skullet is a good look. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Maybe. I'm going to do the Joe Dirt thing, I think. All right, let's get to it. We got a lot to do. So they have officially charged Roth with assassination attempt on Donald Trump. That is official. And his son, this is really weird, who honestly looks just as fucking weird as his father and has long hair and really needs to cut it. Right here. This guy, he was arrested for child porn. What the hell, man? Just more weirdness. So let me get this straight. One of two things happened. Is that there was an active investigation open on his son for porn, right? That he was involved in child porn, or when they were going through his father's stuff and go.
Donations aren't on the screen. The numbers.
Okay. Can you just take it off and put it back on, please?
How do I do that?
You go into it and hit remove and then re-put it in.
No, the numbers aren't on the bottom. You can't see the total.
They're on now.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
I didn't have one to add it. Somebody just texted me and told me
That what?
that the numbers weren't on the bottom of the screen.
Oh, yeah. We got to get a donation before we put one up.
We had two of them, but yeah.
Okay. So his name is Oren Routh. What a weird Oren. O-R-A-N. Oron. It's kind of like trying to spell orange, but they forgot the G-E. Maybe they were Whirlpool fans. I don't know. So Oren Routh was arrested after investigators say they found hundreds of files. The discovery came while investigators were searching his North Carolina home in connection with an investigation unrelated to child exploitation. Okay. Which is the assassination attempt on his dad, of course. Or that his dad perpetrated. A review of the SD card located in device 1 revealed that it contained hundreds of child pornography files, prosecutors say. These files include videos from a known child pornography series created outside the state of North Carolina. Oren previously said his father hates Trump, as every reasonable person does. He's not a violent person, blah, 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 blah. Good. Throw him in fucking jail and let the convicts handle him. Good. Yeah, but he's not going to survive. Throw him in prison. Let the jail justice take care of it. And I said it very carefully. Let jail justice do its course. Good. He's gone. His father's going to be in prison for a while. And that, I don't know what else to say. Like father, like son. A little crazy. So why does this shock anybody? His father has officially been charged, and there's going to be more charges. I mean, this isn't the last charge for this guy. Does anyone actually think that that's it? They're going to keep piling on this guy, and they're going to find more and more. But he has been charged with attempted assassination of Donald Trump. You have an obliterated weapon. You have an attempted assassination, premeditated attempted murder. He's in deep shit. This guy's going to be in jail for a while. Good. Throw away the key. I wouldn't keep him in. I just throw away the key. There's no reason why these people need to be sent a message. And honestly, he should have been charged as a domestic terrorist. I don't understand why he's not being charged as a domestic terrorist. Can someone tell me this? Now, I talked about this last night, so maybe Facebook is going to jump all over my stuff again. But people who are charged for January 5+1, those people, and some of them who did nothing but enter a building and trespassed, which is a misdemeanor, have faced far harsher penalties than this guy. They kept him for 10 days with an obliterated weapon and a weapons charge? This guy should have been charged as a domestic terrorist. His rights should have been waived. You bring him down to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and you go ahead and do what's needed to get done to get the information. Give me a break. Why? It doesn't make much sense. Folks, if you've not had a chance, please like the show. We got 98 likes. We need hundreds. Those likes get this thing shared out, so please do me a favor and get it out there. We're being throttled by Facebook, and we need your help. Got 23 on Twitter, more on YouTube. It's funny, 5,000 followers on Twitter, and I've got a third of what I got on Facebook with 200,000. We're ready to hit 200,000 on Facebook. Give me a break. If you've not had a chance, please donate to the show and keep us free and keep us on. We would appreciate it by going to linktapgo.com/thedumbshow. All right. So there you go. I covered Ralph. I covered his daddy. I covered his son. The whole family's whacked. I mean, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So here's something that's interesting. Donald Trump goes into a grocery store, okay? And he goes into a grocery store and he buys popcorn. And the left flip out. Couldn't that guy buy a salad? Does he really need to buy popcorn? Okay. I take care of my body. I love to eat food, but I have to watch what I eat. But when I hit 70, 80, I'm done lifting. I'm not going to lift another weight in my life, and I'm going to eat whatever the fuck I want. Because I maybe have 5 to 10 years left on this planet, and I am going to eat steak every day. I'm going to smoke. I'm going to drink whiskey. I am going to have a ball on my last 10 years of life. Donald Trump can eat whatever the hell he wants. If he wants to eat a bag of popcorn, good for Donald Trump. He's earned it. Who cares? Like, the left are this peak of physical fitness. I mean, have you seen some of these people? Nothing wrong with Donald Trump buying a bag of popcorn. Popcorn's delicious. I don't eat it. I don't eat it because I got to watch my girlish figure. But who cares? So then he gives $100 to this lady in line because of groceries. And he kind of throws, he tries to hand it to her, but then he tries to throw it to her just to do it under the sly, right? And they're saying it's illegal. Okay. Solicitation has to have some sort of verbal agreement. You understand that? You have to say to that person, excuse me, I'm going to give you $100 and I want your vote. That never took place. The guy gave $100. $100. Instead of just going, oh my God, Donald Trump did something amazing for that person. You know what they're saying? Donald Trump's a socialist. No. See, socialism, they don't give you $100. They take it away from everybody in the store and give you $1, and they keep 99 themselves. That's socialism, you stupid fucks. Redistribution of wealth. Christians are the most charitable group ever in world history. Christians are the most charitable demographic on the planet by far. So Christian doing Christian things ain't no big deal. Second, it's not against the law. He's not buying a vote. Second, you guys have some fucking nerve, Democrats. And I'm cussing a little bit tonight. How many billions of dollars have you guys given out in student loans now and forgiven? Aren't we like at Ukraine levels? Couldn't you have funded 2 wars in Ukraine for what you guys have given away? That's not buying votes. Allowing illegals just to come in anytime they want. And like, amnesty for all, let's make them vote. That's not buying votes? Are you kidding me? You guys have been bribing people for votes since you guys started politics. You guys bribed your way through the civil rights movement. And if it wasn't for Republicans, that fucking thing wouldn't have passed. You guys bribe people when you burn shit down. No justice, no peace, right? Give me a break. Democrats are going to go ahead and lecture Donald Trump on buying votes. How do you guys do this with a straight face? Liberals, how do you do this? I've seen all these little debates that you guys have with teeny boppers at colleges who are like, I'm a Donald Trump fan. You want to debate me? Sure, let's debate. And they sit down and they're like, well, according to the blah, 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 to the blah, 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 blah. And then they go like, you're stupid. You talk like a whore. Yeah, it's real hard to take somebody with a fucking IQ of their shoe size and debate them. Come debate me. I've seen this little guy on TikTok, little redhead little twat, who's just like Harry Sasan. Come on to my show. Come talk to me. Ask me those questions that you asked about Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan. Please, I beg you. Come on to my show, TikTok star, because that's not a debate. What you're doing is you're throwing surface level facts at 100 miles an hour at people, and you want them to somehow answer. Well, the first rule about debate is don't let your person next to you, the one who's debating you, dictate what you talk about. Debate isn't I sit here and ask you questions. Debate is we have a topic, and then we go ahead and we exchange ideas on what we think. We try to find some common ground in those ideas and expand on the top conversation so we can both learn something. That's a debate. What you want to do is you want to throw shit at 100 miles an hour and change this topic and move the goalposts all over from Ohio to Florida, and then have me somehow try to answer that in a nanosecond before you roll over the top of me again with 20 more fucking comments. That's not a debate. The one thing I will give Nick Fuentes, and I hit Nick Fuentes all the time, is that at least in a setting where he's having a conversation, he allows people to finish. And he at least listens to what they have to say. And he may not agree, and he may roll his eyes, and he may be like, oh my God, I can't believe. But you know what? He at least exchanges ideas, whether his ideas are crazy or not. Piers Morgan is another person who actually listens. And then he loses his shit emotionally. But if you watch somebody who truly wants to exchange ideas, they will emphatically, they will listen and they will hear. And they won't be framing their retort. They are listening. And they're not taking notes like this shit. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to write that down. What are you doing? Why do you need to write that down? If you're not inspired enough at what that person says, then just let it go. If you're not inspired enough to remember what they said so you can retort, well then what? Who cares if you got to write it down? So what I don't understand is these people who are these TikTok stars, and they're like, all these debates are incredible. So they do like a speed round dating thing. I'm going to show it to you in like 5 minutes. And one guy sits down, and then if he says something, people put up a red flag. I'm triggered. And then they go, and they run towards the chair. And whoever sits down first gets to talk to that person. You know what I would do? I would throw the flag at these people. I would try to do whatever I could to get this to stop. They would say something like, you're fucking lying. What is this waiting in line and raising a little, what are we supposed to do, jazz hands? Jazz hands. I've got something to say. When did we become so fucking stupid? When did we become like so, why do you have to have an opinion on everything? Why can't you just have one opinion on something? When you go to a debate, you shouldn't be an expert in every topic. But you got this kid up here who's talking about Afghanistan withdrawal, doesn't know anything about it. He's like, oh, I don't know anything about that. Well, then why are you talking? One of the best things you could do is that somebody comes and sits down and they wave their little flag and sits down and goes, well, Afghanistan. It's like, you know what? I'm out. I don't know enough about it. I'm going to sit and listen so I can learn. That's the person who you want to admire. That's the person who should have 10 million followers on TikTok, not some petulant little redhead ginger who can talk about everything and knows nothing. Watch this video. This is insanity. This is insanity.
I have a video I want to play for you. It's of Donald Trump throwing actual bills at patrons of a grocery store in Pennsylvania today. Watch this.
Here, it's going to go down a little bit. It just went down $100. We'll do that for you from the White House, all right?
Thank you.
All right, bye. Nice seeing you, everybody. Beautiful. They're your kids?
Yeah, they are. 3 boys.
Perfecto. Perfecto. 3 for 3, everybody.
He seems to be competing with the Fox graphic we showed earlier announcing the great stock market news. But did he violate campaign finance law?
No.
By paying. Look, the entire Trump campaign has been a criminal enterprise from the get-go.
Oh, my God. Oh, gee, Shep, you're so cutting. The guy on the left. I hate to say it. I'm blacker than you are. I'm just saying.
Anybody who worked in
from the waist down
campaigns, Republican or Democrat, could see that. And that's playing out now. Look what they've done to the RNC. They've turned it into basically this money laundering operation.
Basically, which is saying it's not. Anytime anyone says, well, it basically is racist. It basically is embezzlement. It's basically breaking campaign finance law. It's basically okay. No. If it's basically, which means that the criteria to be a money laundering operation is that they have money and it's an operation. That is your qualification for money laundering. That those people all do laundry at least once a week and they all work there and they have money. Therefore, that is the qualification which makes it basically a money laundering operation. Give me a fucking break. There are no accusations of the RNC. The RNC doesn't have any money, dude. I don't know whether you've been paying attention, but Donald Trump is getting outspent by $5 million a day. Donald Trump is being outspent $5 million a day compared. And now George Soros is going to buy like 240 radio stations with a 45-day advert buy and completely break every FEC violation and buy out everybody's prepaid contracts for advert because, as I told you, November, December, January is coming up. What you purchase that in the October, November, and December Q4. So all the advertising buy and any real estate or any white space that radio stations have that haven't been purchased in annual contracts is up for sale right now. And Soros is going to go in there and buy 240 some odd stations where Eric Erickson's at, Sean Hannity's at, Dan Bongino's at, reruns of Rush Limbaugh are, where Justin Barclay's on. And they're going to buy up ads that are going to rail against Trump. Is that against campaign finance? Oh, no, it's just just a donation from a concerned constituent and citizen. Yeah, that's what it is. It's George Soros. He's a caring constituent. He's an American citizen. Now everything's fine. Give me a break. Yeah, because Trump dropped off 2 $100 bills. That's it. The election's thrown. Oh, the horror. The RNC's a mafia without any money. They're bankrupt. It's a money laundering, see, basically. Basically.
You know, when you talk about ground game, as you did in the previous segment with that incredible chairwoman of the party, I mean, good gosh, she's amazing. it not only hurts you at the polls, but it's very dispiriting to people in those states who are Republicans, who helped build organizations, and then they were completely abandoned by the Trump campaign when they came in and took over the RNC. That's just incredibly demoralizing to a party and to...
it's basically incredibly demoralizing. Okay, can I say something? I have to. I'm sorry. I've got to get this off my plate. I understand that I cuss. Okay, anyone that watches my recorded show knows that I don't need to cuss in order to convey a message. And if you want me to get up there in the dog and pony show, I clean up really well. I look really good in a suit. I'm just letting you know. I just trust me. If you want me to sit up there and you want me to be this guy, well, basically the RNC is just as bad as the Nazis, basically. If you want me to do that and then go up there and go, I can't believe, for 2 minutes, it's literally just, you didn't say anything. You just, verbal diarrhea. That's all you did. And you didn't have one fact. You don't have any proof. And I'll just, basically, I can do that. For what you're paying these guys, $1,500 per appearance, and you keep them on retainer, you can give that shit to me. I'll do it for half the price, and I'll go on MSDNC, okay, and the Clinton News Network, and I'll sit up there and I'll be like, basically, Donald Trump's Hitler. Basically, Democrats are perfect. Basically, the Democrats didn't found the KKK. Basically, they didn't go ahead and inject malaria and gonorrhea in African Americans. And then after their tests were done, didn't give them the cure, basically. That civil rights was pushed through by Republicans and not Democrats, basically. That eugenics and the Great Society basically wasn't the Democrats. I'll do that, $750 on retainer a month. I'll do that shit for you. And then what I'll do is I will come on this show and I will play myself on there and we will all laugh that I'm stealing your money, that I am ripping you off. Why don't you just get somebody to go on and say, why would that be effective for Donald Trump to give someone $100 when they're in a grocery line? Why don't you ask that question? Well, let's go ahead and talk about it. How overall consumer goods when it comes to groceries, when it comes to the basics, bread, eggs, milk, all have went up close to 67% over the last year and a half. That the average grocery bill has went up almost 27% for the average family. Why don't we talk how people have $12,000 less in their savings account than they did this time last year? So Donald Trump giving $100 certainly isn't against the law. But what we should ask ourselves the question is, why is it against the law for Kamala Harris to lie and espouse on the national stage that she's somehow going to go ahead and stop price gauging, and she hasn't done it for 4 years? That she's going to go somehow stop gun violence, but hasn't done it for 4.5 years. She's going to stop the wall and fentanyl coming over and illegal immigrants coming over, but she hasn't done anything for 4 years. Why isn't that illegal? She's lying to the American public. Why isn't that against FEC? Why can't the Federal Election Commission go ahead and hold someone accountable for lying to the public, for absolutely stating falsehoods? Oh, because all we got to do is put the word basically in front of it and it forgives all. Well, then Donald Trump basically gave them $100. Basically. See? Donald Trump didn't break any laws. This is the problem with these shills on these networks. You know what? I really have thought about bringing people on this show to be expert witnesses, and I just can't. Because the people that I would bring on this show, we wouldn't say anything. We would just agree. Democrat or Republican. The people who are truly genuine would just sit here and go, dude, what's going on, man? You're in the Navy? Yeah. Oh, holy shit, I was too. Where were you stationed? Really? No way. Yeah, man. I was in Japan. I saw Def Leppard in Japan. Def Leppard? I've been watching Def Leppard since I'm in this high. No way. Because that's the way people talk. This whole thing, listen here, Bob. Let's get real for a second. Listen. That's my favorite thing. Every freaking pundit, the moment they just listen, I'm done. I check out. I'm done. I walk away. Because you know it's going to be the same. Listen. Listen here. Can I be honest with you? No, I want you to fucking lie to me. They're all the same. They're just a bunch of talking heads that just blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. That's it. And nobody will sit there and go, is that really what you want me to talk about? You want me to talk about Donald Trump giving $100 to two people who need the money? So first of all, he's a billionaire and he doesn't give enough, and he's a scum-sucking douchebag because he's a billionaire, and he just went ahead and utilized the fundamental principles of our entire existence, which is free market economy and success, living the American dream. And then he tries to share money with people, and you think that he's buying somebody's vote? Give me a break. Completely worthless. This isn't news. This is tabloid Sally Jesse Raphael meets Geraldo. And people eat this shit up and say that it's news. It's not news. This doesn't even resemble news. News is supposed to be a transaction between a group of people who are listening to gain insight on what is happening in the world. What is happening in their box, what is happening in their county, what's happening in their city, what's happening in their state, what's happening in their country, what's happening in the world. And all you're doing is giving them a bunch of shit that makes no sense. It's just two people stroking each other off. That's not news. Hold on, folks. I'm getting a lockup. See if I can get out of this. Ooh. Macs are really badass, but when they do seize, it's usually unrecoverable. They don't seize very often, though. So if you're watching Fox, if you're watching MSNBC, do me a favor, stop listening to the content when it comes to what they're talking about, Republican and Democrat, and immediately open up your mind and be like, oh, it's Republican, I'm going to listen. It's Democrat, I'm going to turn it off. But if you just listen to how they present, it's all the same thing. If you watch somebody like Sean Hannity will be like, so you went ahead and you were at the Donald Trump rally. Please tell me what you saw about Donald Trump. And that person will be like, well, I went ahead and what I saw. Okay, anyway, and he interrupts. And you're like, why is that person even on the show? And then when they get back to that person, they're like, you're right, Sean. You know what I would say? Why did you interrupt me? Sean Hannity, why the fuck am I here? Am I here so you can talk about your judo moves? Am I here so you can flaunt your Secret Service and FBI decoder pins on your jacket? Am I here to talk about your perfect hair? Because, dude, I'm married. I'm not going to sit here and stroke you off. If you want my opinion to be on your show, then shut up and I'm going to give it to you. And this is why I'll never be on these shows. Because I would not play ball. And that's why Dan Bongino had to leave Fox. That's why Dan Bongino had to have his own network. That's why Dan had to get the hell away from everybody, because you don't put a chain on a guy like that. You let him go. Let him talk. Listen to him. There's nothing illegal about Donald Trump giving them $100 because he wasn't in a voting center. He didn't do anything that says quid pro quo. I need your vote now because I gave you $100. There's no contract. There's no solicitation. He gave $100 of his own free will. So what you're saying is every time he gives to a charity, he can't do that? Every time he donates money somewhere, he can't do that? He can't buy somebody something? He can't give away a gift? There are standards and procedures when it comes to the FEC declaring gifts over a certain value. $100 is not one of them. Okay? So give me a fucking break. It doesn't matter what Donald Trump does. Everything that Donald Trump does is evil. Everything. Even the good stuff. When he hugged his grandchild the other day, you know what? They showed a picture of somebody with a phone where the woman had to coax the kid on stage because the child's embarrassed. You never been a kid? How many children at that age, 6, 7, 8 years old, have walked in front of tens of thousands of people? None. they're going to be nervous. So she pushed him up on stage. He was a little hesitant. It's his grandpa. He doesn't care. He's nervous. But they made it seem like something nefarious. Oh, Donald Trump is using people as campaign props. Oh, okay. And Harry Armpit's I Hate Jews daughter of Kamala Harris, who is not her daughter or stepdaughter, that's not using props. Tim Walz out there on his freaking Ford Scout, which is $140,000 freaking vehicle. And he's out there and he's changing an air filter, which looks like it's brand new. I could eat dinner off of it. And, oh, such a regular guy. Oh, look, everybody, I got grease on my hands. I'm so regular. I'm just like you. Hey, everybody, I've got a working vehicle that I've restored myself. It's only worth $150,000. It's only worth 1/4 of your entire house. But I'm just like you. I've been to China 30 times, but we're exactly alike. Yeah, right. Give me a break. And people buy this up. Oh, Tim Walz. I eat him up. He's such a good human being. I love him. He's so real. He's so genuine. He's faker than a $3 bill or 3,000 yen. Give me a break. Give me a break. The Senate border deal. I'm so sick of hearing about this thing. Byron Donalds is just going to wax it for you. He's just going to lay it down. He's going to lay the smack down. But here's what it comes down to. Catch and release would have been approved. It would let in 1.8 million illegals. It funds sanctuary cities. It funds NGOs and moving illegals, lawyers to illegals, work permits to illegals, nothing about deporting illegals, no immediate wall funds in any way, shape, or form, funding 26 different countries' border and not our own. When you look at it, less than 12% of the monies would go to U.S. funding, $608 billion to Ukraine. No asylum screening. Okay, that's it. It's not a border bill. It's a let's give money to everyone else but the United States bill. Byron Donalds crushes it. He always crushes it. I love this guy. Here it is. He's going to go ahead and tell you what I just told you.
Get a vote in the House because it is a terrible piece. We need to set the record straight about the Senate bill and actually H.R. 2. When the Senate bill was actually published, I remember I was at a dinner Sunday night when it came out, when the text came out. I read the text of the Senate bill. Many members in the House read the text of the Senate bill. Members contacted Speaker Johnson, and we were very clear. There is no way the Senate bill should get a vote in the House because it is a terrible piece of legislation that will not secure the southern border. House Republicans have passed border security measures, H.R. 2. We did it more than a year ago.
Yep.
Has Chuck Schumer brought it up for even debate or a vote in the Senate?
Nope.
No, he has not. Has the White House decided to reach out to the Speaker Johnson to debate and deliberate or negotiate or compromise on H.R. 2 and its elements to secure the southern border? No, they have not. They're in charge in the Senate and in the White House. They've done nothing except a bill that couldn't even make it out of the Senate. So I think it's important to set the record straight. Oh, also, by the way, House Republicans weren't going to vote for that bill. And that was before Donald Trump even made his view known on the Senate compromise bill. We were already against it when the bill text came out because it's a trash bill. Now, moving on. We need to set the record.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to say this. I'm going to try to get Damani on Friday. Damani Felder needs to run for office because he is just as smart as Byron Donalds. And it's not because he's black and he looks like him. Give me a break. I just thought of that. The guy needs to run. He would be fantastic in Houston. I'd vote for him. I'd come out and campaign for him. But Damani needs to run. I'll never do it. I can't. I just can't. I've just got too many people who I have treated poorly in my life. It's just the truth. I'm not going to hide from it. I've just treated people like shit sometimes. And I was a horrible boss sometimes. And the medication and just my general disposition on life was just really shitty. And I would never want to go through that. But I'll tell you, Damani Felder should run. Absolutely 100%. With no equivocation. 100%. Run. I'm going to show you this. Now, I don't have a lot of confirmation, so all we're going to do is listen to the expose. But this is a mother reported that this minority inspector registered her daughter as a Democrat and used the student's social security number to do so. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but we're going to listen to the mother, and you're going to tell me what you think. Here it is.
Because I'm pissed right now.
Okay, what's going on?
So yesterday, you pulled my daughter out of class, and you told her that it was mandatory for her to vote.
No, I didn't say it was mandatory.
So that's what she told me. These are her words, that she said it was mandatory that she votes.
No, ma'am. But go ahead. Finish telling me.
Okay. And that you projected your fears and insecurities on her, telling her if Donald Trump was elected, black people would be doomed.
Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. So let me say this. I am a minority inspector.
Okay.
For 1016. And you know, as a minority inspector, you never, ever, ever discuss politics or your beliefs or anything like that.
So can we calm my daughter down here? Because at this point, you're making it like she's a complete liar. My daughter have never told me someone said anything such to her like this.
No, ma'am. So this is what happened. I did call her down to register to vote because we're registering all the 18-year-olds to vote.
She's not 18, she's 17.
Yeah, but she turns 18 before the election.
Yeah, but I could have took my daughter to register her to vote. I did not ask for y'all to register my daughter to vote. I have not even spoke to her about the election yet. And I am not a Harris supporter. I am a Trump supporter.
Yes, ma'am.
So for you to tell her anything, and it's like now you're saying she's lying. So now I want her to come down here.
Listen, I'm not saying your daughter's lying. What I'm saying is that I did call her.
All right. I can hear the stress in that lady's voice. She's lying like a dog. Or he, because it doesn't sound like a woman. It sounds like a transgender human being. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but tell me that sounds like a woman, because it doesn't sound like a woman to me. Listen.
To my office, I did register her to vote. We did have a conversation about it. She did ask me about Trump. She did ask me about Harris. So we started a conversation about, what's going on. I wasn't projecting anything on her. I was just talking about things that are going on in the world.
Yeah, did you tell her about the border being unsecure? Did you tell her about all the illegal criminals that's in this country right now?
So we did have a conversation about the border, and we did talk about the border policies and all of that. We did have a conversation about everything. So let me just say this. I apologize to you for offending you, because that was not my intention. I was not trying to project any of my political beliefs.
Yeah, you were. And you're caught. Melanie says, nah, that's a woman. I don't know about that. It sounds a little weird to me. Here are overall... Taking a look. The comments. They serve as guardians of democracy and are vital to efficient, honest elections. They prepare the polls for opening and closing, working a long, full day, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So they basically are poll inspectors. That's essentially, they help raise awareness and energy around elections. And if we listen to her, I don't know. I want to see a photo.
On your daughter or anything like that.
That's why I don't know why the conversation was had. What consent forms did I sign saying I was okay with my daughter being registered to vote in school? She's still 17 years old.
So what consent forms were signed for that?
None.
Because there really isn't any. We just register students to vote here. At every high school, they're registering students
But
to
she's
vote.
still not 18. She have until the 21st of October, I believe, to register. And her birthday is on the 5th.
Right. So we are permitted to register all students whose birthday that happens by the 5th, because that's the date of the election. So
her birthday's October 5th, not November 5th. So she had until the end of October to register to vote. So that'll wait.
This is called solicitation. You can't register somebody to vote against their will. It's a voluntary process, and those people have to solicit your involvement. You can't go and say, hey guys, we're doing an open voter registration for everybody. Why don't you go ahead and take your 5th period lunch hour to come on down and register to vote? That's solicitation. It is a very different thing. You have to be able to provide. Now you can say the school on September 27th we'll have through October 1st, we'll have an open registry for all interested 18-year-olds who are looking to vote in this election with parents' permission. That is completely different. That's not solicitation. This is solicitation. And this poll worker did exactly what all the schools do, is they circumvent parents. And because they're 18 years old, they hide behind adult laws of an 18-year-old, and they give them immediate adult type treatment. They negate the parents and they completely circumvent the parents out of this. And this is how these people do this at schools. They do it in the workplace. They do it at volunteer centers. They do it in boys and girls clubs. This is what Democrats do. And this is nothing new. And their ground game is ridiculous for registering new voters. But if you take a look at the swing states, like I talked about last night and on Friday, last night's show, you're going to have to watch on Wimkin or Rumble because I deleted off Facebook. But it talks about the amount of Democrats just in Pennsylvania who have absolutely lost Democrat strongholds, and Republicans are now in the plus column for new registered voters. The Republicans' ground game is a lot stronger than we think. A lot of people are worried about the money coming out of the RNC. A lot of these are voluntary groups. A lot of these are people donating their time, like this lady. But this person is trying to go ahead and con people into voting for Kamala Harris. That is not her job. Her job is to register 18-year-olds who want to vote, period.
I could have took her as her mother and I could have explained to her what to do, to look up both policies without me telling her anything.
Right.
This is just not right.
She was asking me questions, and so I was answering her questions.
Yeah, because she wanted to know, why did she have to get pulled out of class to register to vote?
No, she didn't. That wasn't the question she asked me. She was asking me questions.
Sorry. Y'all talking down here?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know it was up here.
Hi.
Hello.
So now when she said she didn't tell you, the stuff that you told me she told you, that black people will be doomed if Trump becomes president?
Yes, she did.
I didn't say black people will be doomed if Trump becomes president. we did have a conversation about policies and different things like that. You were asking me questions, and I was telling you about some of the policies.
Oh, yeah, she's lying her ass off.
Harris has. So we did have that type of conversation.
I don't think I was really asking questions. I think I was just really as much as so like, right, yeah, right.
So you was just like agreeing, like talking?
No, I'm not really, I don't really care about it, so I'm not really engaged in the conversation as much. I'm just like, okay, right.
So you didn't ask me any questions at all?
No.
Okay. Well, this is what I'm going to say. I apologize for raising your daughter to vote. At this point, she is raised to vote. If you would like to change that.
I am, because it should not have been done in the first place.
If you would like to change, anything that's on that form that went in, you're welcome to do that.
I know that.
You can go online and do it.
I know.
I didn't feel like I was projecting anything on her.
You are by telling her anything that you saying you didn't say black people be doomed. She's saying you said it. I'm going to believe my daughter because she would not lie to me about something like this. Why would she lie? Why would she?
Like I asked if I could do it later, and you're like, no, it's kind of like, no, you have to do it now, kind of mandatory. And I'm like, I don't.
Did you feel like I was pressuring you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she said she didn't want to do it at the moment.
Did she speak to me, honey?
Yeah.
Did you feel like I was pressuring?
Yeah, I asked if I could do it another time, and you're like, no, it's kind of mandatory. Okay. I didn't really know if it was mandatory or not. But.
Okay. Well, we're going to agree to disagree on this conversation. I apologize.
Oh my God! Listen, I don't need to see anymore. This stuff happens across the country. This happened to me when I was younger in California. The same thing. Listen. These schools are Democrat strongholds. Now, what's hilarious is that Elon Musk shared the overall level of professors and what these professors teach, whether it's literature, whether it's engineering, biology, sociology, whatever it is. And they were showing the college professors across the entire United States. And obviously this is thousands and thousands of professors. man, I swear to God, in this graph, and it's an accurate graph, is that I would say 90% of the professions are 100% Democrat. 100%. And things like engineers and neurosurgeons and science, some of those are, 14, 15, 16% away from 90 some odd percent. I'll see if I can find this. And of course, liberals are like, yeah, of course, because smart people are professors. Oh, yeah, that's the message. That's the problem. That's the problem because only Democrats are smart. Right? All Republicans are stupid. I love when they say that shit. Just come on my show. It's right there. 804-212-2208. Call my show. Show me how stupid I am. I do it all the time. Just come on. Show me how stupid I am. Because the problem is that it's not true. Republicans aren't stupid because political ideology does not make one smart or not. Political ideology is usually entrenchment, which shows a lack of intelligence. If you believe that all Democrats are smart, well, then you're entrenched, which means you're ignorant. And that means you're not intelligent. It means you're fucking stupid. Case in point, we're done. You can go home now. There are genius Democrats, but that's not my prerequisite, is their political ideology. So is their religious faith or their skin color. Their content of their character and how they present themselves and exchange ideas with others demonstrates their intelligence. Nothing about their political ideology or skin color or ethnicity or their overall economic disposition. None of those things denounce intelligence or stupidity. Because trust me when I say this, there's things that I could have a conversation with Jordan Peterson on, and he would look like a complete moron. And most of the things that I would talk with Jordan Peterson about, he would make me look like a complete moron because he is extremely intelligent. But the one thing that Jordan Peterson doesn't do is he doesn't get involved in things that he doesn't understand. He doesn't put himself out there and just go ahead and say something in order to get a click. This is the difference between most people, is that some people are just doing it for attention and other people are doing it to learn and understand. There's a video I'll show you of Charlie Kirk, if I can find it. Damn it, we're going to run out of time. It's okay, we can do some of this tomorrow. Here's a perfect example. This person who is talking, who's in theater,
Adjusting transmitter output.
Sorry. Here is Charlie Kirk. Now, this person goes ahead and encourages Charlie Kirk to commit. I got to be careful what I say because of Facebook. I don't even know what I can and can't say anymore. To commit self-harm. And listen to this guy. And Charlie Kirk, he just looks demoralized. He's not being browbeaten. Now, of course, all the liberals are like, look at Charlie Kirk, he's going to cry. No, Charlie Kirk is just so disappointed in humanity. And he's been doing this for so long that nothing surprises him anymore. Watch this.
When Kamala wins and when you go into manic spirals, everything you've worked for crumbles around you, what illicit drugs you can overdose on?
So when Kamala wins and everything you've built crumbles around you, what are you going to do with taking your own life? Now, first of all, Charlie Kirk has hedged his bets fairly well. I will say that I will survive whether Donald Trump gets in the White House or not, and that is because I have not tied my entire show to Donald Trump. That's it. I haven't done that. I've challenged Trump when he deserves to be challenged. I've challenged Biden when he deserves to be challenged. I've given him credit when he gets credit, and I've given Trump credit when he gets credit. I have not tied my entire show to Donald J. Trump. And when Donald J. Trump wins or loses, hopefully wins, I'll have 4 years of Donald Trump to talk about him and question him on the things he does right, or give him credit for what he does right and question him on what he does wrong. And then after that, MAGA's dead. Because if Donald Trump doesn't win in 2024, MAGA has won one time. MAGA, whatever. It's won once. It would mean if he doesn't win in 2024 that MAGA has lost everything since 2016. They won the presidency and then they've lost at everything else. It means it's one of the most unsuccessful runs in political history for a movement. And I'm okay with that. Because I don't think Make America Great Again or neoconservatism or isolationism or focused on just free market capitalism, that any of these focuses or economic principles establish what the Conservative Party should be all about. The Conservative Party is very simple. Family values founded in Christianity and a belief in a higher power, believe that all life is sacred, that individual rights are paramount, believes in absolute 100% protection of the Constitution of the United States, no expansion of big government, and that the states will reign supreme over the federal government at all times. That's it. That's conservatism. No big deal. No big deal. MAGA is window dressing. Reaganomics, neoconservatism, McCarthyism, it's all just versions of what people want to expand conservatism to be, which is antithetical to the conservative principles. It's called conservative for a reason, to be limited, to have restraint, to give 1,000 no's for every yes. That's conservatism in a nutshell. Democrats will give 1,000 yeses for every no. We will give 1,000 no's for every yes. That is the most basic definition of liberalism and conservatism that I can give you, that any person can explain. And whether it's labeled in MAGA or any other principle, it doesn't matter because it doesn't change the basics of conservatism. But if we don't win in 2024 and Donald Trump doesn't win, MAGA's dead. And it should be, because that will mean that it's failed. Is there anybody who disagrees here with what I just said? Is there anybody who's like, Matt, you're crazy. MAGA needs to live forever. Why? Why? If he loses in 2024, it's unsuccessful. It is an abysmal failure. And if we lose the Senate and the House, and we don't overtake the Senate and the House, and the MAGA Republicans lose there, and we lose this opportunity where the House and the Senate are very grabbable right now. They are it looks very good for Republicans. But if we don't win it in 2024, we lose the presidency in the House and the Senate, and we give them a mandate, the Democrats, to go ahead and expand the Supreme Court, to go ahead and make D.C. and Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands a state, to give them additional votes in the Senate, to destroy the filibuster. If we give them that power, I don't ever want to see MAGA again. Do you? And if you do, why do you? What am I saying that's wrong? Now, do I want to see Donald Trump successful? Sure. I want him to win 2024. I want to win the House and the Senate. And I want MAGA to end as strong as it began. That's what I want. But if it doesn't happen, you think I'm going to sugarcoat that? Charlie Kirk has not attached his sales only to Donald Trump. He wants Donald Trump to win. He's going to explain that to you. And it's exactly where I am at. Enjoy.
If Trump wins, what are you going to do to yourself? I don't know. Probably move to the Netherlands. I don't want to deal with them. Can you answer the question, though? Snowflake?
I hope that
Answer the question, Snowflake.
I hope Trump wins.
See, now this is where the conversation would not go well. Because I believe wholeheartedly that the problem with our country today is that there are some people who deserve to be punched square in the face. I think it is an absolute prerequisite for development of character. Let me tell you a story. I had a guy who sat next to me. His name was Justin Trench. He was 6 foot at like 6th grade. And he was a punk rocker, ginger, but big dude, big. And he wore, he looked like Breakfast Club, Jed T. Nelson, or whatever his name is. It's not me, Jed T. Nelson. Isn't that the guy from Glory, or Call to Glory, Jed T. Nelson and Coach? What was the guy I'm thinking of? Whatever, it doesn't matter. You guys know who I'm talking about. He's the punk rocker in Breakfast Club. Anyway, total punk. And he broke his leg, and he was fairly poor. And he wasn't a particularly strong, good-smelling human being before his cast. But his cast reeked. And when I say reek, I mean reek. Like, if you sat next to him, you could barely just keep it down. You're just, yeah, Bender, but I don't remember his name. Was it Judd Nelson? Something like that? Doesn't matter. Who cares? And Justin just, it stunk. And as we would go into class, Mrs. Fouch was our teacher, and she total liberal. Very cute, very, very pretty, total freaking like recycle newspaper, you know, blah, blah, blah. Jimmy Carter got a bad rap. This Ronald Reagan, you know. Yeah, Craig T. Nelson, thank you, was in. So it's Judd Nelson or something like that. Somebody look it up. Who cares? I've said who cares 5 times, but I care. So anyway, she was very liberal, like huge granola hippie. And one day in class, we're sitting there, and people are trying not to gag. And Miss Fouch goes, Matthew, what is wrong with you? And I said, Miss Fouch, Judd Nelson, thank you. Matthew, what is wrong with you? And I said, Miss Fouch, I can't do this anymore. Justin, I think, Justin, yeah. His cast stinks. And she goes, Matthew Spear, one of these days, someone's going to punch you right in the nose and you're going to deserve it. And I'm just like, oh, well, okay. Lo and behold, I got punched in the nose, and it was by him. And it taught me a lesson that sometimes, unless you can back it up, you should just shut up and not say what you want to say. And there's a time to say it, and there's a place to say it. And I didn't need to say that and embarrass him in front of the entire class. What I should have done is talk to him and tried to befriend him. Now, later in life, when I became a leader in retail and other places in the military, I had to have stinky people conversations. And in the military, it was simple. Dude, you either fucking shower or we're going to throw you overboard. Not necessarily the way to do it. But when I got into retail, what I would do is I would buy deodorant. And I'd buy like 3 different scents. I'd buy like Mountain Pine, Fresh, Alpine, and whatever, Right Guard, and soap. And I would go to the employee and I'd sit him down and say, listen, I'm going to give you some feedback you're not going to like. Are you in a good place to hear it? Has you got your head on straight? Everything okay at home? You got money for food? Is everything all right? Yeah. Are you ready? Yeah. Because if you're not, you can come back tomorrow. We can talk about it. No, I'm ready. Okay, this isn't going to feel good. You understand that? So I tell him what I'm going to tell him. Then I tell him again. And then I tell him. And then I go ahead and give him the feedback talk. This is feedback. You can take it, use it, and lose it. That's what I recommend you do. And feedback is a bomb. People will say it's a gift. It's not a gift. It's a bomb. And you have a choice. You can either let it blow up inside you and destroy you and literally ruin your job here, or you can take the parts, diffuse it, and build it into something productive. This conversation is designed to help you. It's going to impact your relationship with women. It's going to help your advancement in this job. It's going to have your family love you and embrace you. You're going to find physical contact is an exciting thing, and also that your clothes don't stink like shit. You need to wear deodorant. You need to shower. You need to use soap, and you need to wash the basic areas that don't smell so good, okay? No one had this conversation with you. I am, because I care about you. Very different conversation than either you shower or we're going to throw you overboard. And if you think that we didn't throw people overboard, you're crazy, because we did. There are times where people need to be punched in the nose. This human being is a perfect example. The moment that he's like, snowflake, snowflake, I swear, now, Charlie is going to restrain himself. And I would restrain myself. But I'm telling you, everything inside, Charlie and me, is we want to grab this guy and beat him to a fucking pulp to send a very clear message. Now, I'm not calling for violence. Facebook, I'm not saying you should do those things. What I'm saying is that's the feeling, the normal reaction for most men. And it goes back to hunter-gatherer, caveman style stuff, where somebody threatens you, someone puts you in a position to challenge for leadership. Physical violence is something that you would want to do, but it doesn't mean we do it. But this person is desperately in need of being punched in the nose. Hard. Multiple times. With no relent. Yes. Because Charlie Kirk would eat him for lunch. would end this guy.
Snowflake? I hope that
Answer the question, Snowflake.
I hope Trump wins. Kamala
Answer
might
the
win.
question,
Let me tell you what
coward.
happens. So let me tell you what happens. If Kamala Harris wins, which she might, unlike you, I will not flee my country. I will go back to work the next day if Kamala Harris wins. Unlike you, I will not go to some European socialist nanny state and get out of the way. I will fight harder if Kamala Harris wins. And I am dedicating my life right now to make sure that doesn't happen, to register voters and to chase ballots and to rally the next generation. So unlike you, I'm a participant, and you might be right, Kamala might win. It might be too much, but I'll be able to look my daughter and my son in the eye and say I did everything I possibly could to make sure that this country remained free and prosperous for you guys, and that I gave it all on the line. But
Good luck with that, buddy. Come on, a sweep. Come on, a sweep.
Right in the nose. Just right in the nose. It would almost be worth getting sued. It would almost be worth. This is where Charlie Kirk should pull a Donald Trump and just like start handing out $100 bills and say, do with this as you will. But that's what they want. That person wants you to commit violence, and they will scream to the top of their lungs and cry to their mommy and just be a complete petulant little turd to the very end. But someday soon, someone's going to just literally break that kid's nose. It happened to me. I got my nose broken, taught me a big lesson. And there was nothing I could do because if I stood up, I'd get my ass kicked. And the comment was, stay down or I'm going to break something else. And I stood down. Then I grew. Then I could fight back. But until that day, I had to learn a valuable lesson that your words can cross lines. And when those lines are crossed, you should be held accountable for them. And it doesn't mean that you have to be fired. It doesn't mean you have to be arrested. It doesn't mean you have to be censored. It means you should get your butt kicked. And then when you're done, that person should pick you up, dust you off, and say, we good? No? Do you want to go back down again for another nap? No? Okay. Are we good? You were good. Okay. If you got some problem with this in 4 years when you finally grow and you're stop being a Oompa Loompa, you come find me and we'll talk about this again. But until then, are we good? Okay, good. Then STFU. And don't cross that line with me. Now we can be friends. Let me get you a beer. Some of the best relationships I've ever had are people who knocked my dick in the dirt or I knocked their dick in the dirt. Lifelong friends. And you can't do it anymore. You can't do those things. It's ridiculous. What the world needs more than anything is a little reciprocity for the people who have been getting away with absolute, I won't say the word because I want to get banned from Facebook, but who have been getting away scot-free for encroaching upon people's basic right to be treated with integrity and respect. Period. And you have to earn respect. Yet no. You don't have to be a complete jerk off to somebody who you don't know unless they've demonstrated behavior that deserves and warrants that. Until then, you should treat everybody with respect. Of course you should. Because any disrespect that you give to them ultimately will be reciprocated, and then you'll be a victim and be like, oh, how dare that person go ahead and challenge me in my, my petulant frickin' communication style. The guy has no business. I'm going to show you one other video and then we're going to go. Folks, it's been a slow night. linktapgo.com/thedumbshow. I understand you can't give every single night. There's people on this show who've watched it many times. But we are a show that's 100% funded by you. And we have a certain amount that we need to make every night in order to pay the bills. And those bills are expensive. Running our internet, ensuring that we're paying for the programs that we have to run the show. This isn't free. This stuff costs a lot of money. So what we ask, if you guys just looked at my internet bill, you'd be shocked. Our internet bill on average now, $1,250 a month. Because we go over. We work, there's people who have internet, who surf all the time, stream all their movies. 200 gigs a month is huge. We're pushing 30, 40 terabytes a month. Comcast doesn't give that to us for free. And our speed of our internet is special. There's no package for what we have, and it's because we have a business and we need a speed that's incredible. So we pay business prices. So is that really your fault? No. It's our choice to do this. But what we're saying is that your help makes that happen. Whether it's $1, $5, $10, $100, $1,000, it doesn't matter. Whatever you can afford. Now, please, if you're in a position where you can't give, don't give a dime. We don't want it. It's not a charity. This is a business, and you are a patron. You watch our show, and we ask if you have the ability to give back, do that. And if you can't financially, at least just like it, share it, and give it to your friends to come on by. That means the world to us. In fact, most of the time it's better than money because it brings people in and it makes us grow. So if you could help us out, we'd appreciate it by going to linktapgo.com/the dumb show. Last topic. We have so many things to talk about. Oh my God. This kid is the TikTok star I was telling you about. And this kid likes to consider himself a debater. Now, I want to give him some basic things. Is he smart? Oh, yeah. Very smart. Is he a wordsmith? Yep. He can communicate and he doesn't get tongue-tied. He can say a string of things, put a sentence together, and he talks so fast that he ultimately can usually outspar his opponent. But I want you to really listen to him and tell me what he's doing. I've watched the entire premise of this. They put a bunch of people in a room together. They sat them around. They held up a red flag if they wanted to speak. And then when the person was done, they would run for a chair, play musical chairs, and then sit down and then start debating. It's like speed debating. It's really stupid. But I want you to listen to this kid. Okay? And yes, he looks like the kid from what is it? Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist? Is that what it is? No, Scott Pilgrim Saves the World. Scott Pilgrim, whatever that kid is. Whoever that kid is. Here it is.
Kamala Harris would be a much better president than Donald Trump. Welcome in.
Hi.
Hi.
Now, the first thing I would say is, listen, I don't care what happens in this debate. You and I have differences, but I want to get your phone number because you're a smoke show. And I just want to let you know that no matter what happens in this debate, nothing is going to change how unbelievably beautiful you are. You can go first. But that's just me because I'm charming as hell. And I'd do it in front of everybody, made sure I got on show. Because that would go viral and people would be like, damn, that guy's got some cojones. But I absolutely would do that. But she's also young and I'm old and that looks a little creepy. But if I was his age, that's what I would have done. I'm just letting you know.
Okay. So do you mind if I give you my reasons why I think that Harris would be a better president?
You can't click on the link. You have to type it in. linktapgo.com/thedumbshow. It doesn't work that way. You got to physically type it in. They will not allow me to donate on Facebook. They've taken it away from me. In fact, I've never had stars. There's pages. You can create a page right now and you can have stars on your live stream. I can't. I never have. 200,000 people and I can't get stars. So if you want to donate to the show, you have to type in the URL linktapgo.com/thedumbshow. One of the mods will put it into the chat link and you can go from there. I'm sorry about that. Let's listen to this.
If you want.
So there's two main categorical reasons why I say Harris would be better than Trump. The first category is character. The second category is policy. Let's start off with character. First of all, Trump is a felon. Trump is a fraudster.
Okay, so immediately I'm going to say no. No. Why no? Well, because character is your defining qualification for president, and policy is your defining qualification for president, and I think they're overly simplistic. So therefore, you can go ahead and tell me why you think character and policy are important, but I don't agree with you on the premise that those are the only two qualifications that we should look at. But you can go ahead and say that. I think there's other things. So we'll get to those things when you're done rattling off yours.
Trump is an election denier. He's a dictator on day one, wannabe fascist, okay? Kamala Harris is none of those. Kamala Harris wants to protect and preserve a democracy. She wants to fight for the freedoms of all Americans, especially the 170 million American women and girls. And then we could reference policy next. If you want to respond to character, go for it. If you want me to hop straight into policy, I could do that too.
Okay, so my next statement is, did you actually want me to go ahead and say anything, or did you just want to go ahead and rattle off shit at 127 miles an hour and expect me to remember all that? Do you have a statement that you would like to make that isn't based on emotion and conjecture? Because I didn't hear one piece of empirical data that proves anything you just said. What I heard was emotional diatribe. So why don't we start with your limited qualifications about what qualifies someone to be the President of the United States, which is policy and character. Which one would you like to go ahead and ask me about? Are you interested in my opinion on Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, or do you just want to recite a bunch of things that really have no meaning whatsoever other than your personal opinion? I'll let you answer, and then I'll wait. The debate's over. Because you're not here to talk about Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. You're here to tell me why you think you're right and I'm wrong, and you don't even know what I think. You haven't asked me a pre-qualifying question. You have no premise for your line of questioning or your statements because you don't know how I feel. What you're doing is you're taking a collectivism point of view, and you're assuming that because I support Donald Trump, therefore I agree with everything that he's done, or that I agree with everything that you say, whether it's good or bad, or I have an absolute antithetical approach to what you think because I'm a Donald Trump supporter. So why don't you do me a favor, and why don't you ask me a question about any of those things that you just rattled off and what my opinion is before you start rattling off things at 120 miles an hour. Because that's what a debate is. It's a conversation. It's not a tit for tat. It's not what you see on TV where you talk for 2 minutes and I talk for 2 minutes. You need an idea. You need a premise. And the premise of this, if you would like to talk about it, is Kamala Harris qualified to be president? Is Donald Trump qualified to be president? So let's establish that first. But this is not a debate. This is literally just romper room.
Well, starting with character, I technically do not think she's a good person. Speaking of...
Technically, are there some schematics or blueprints you want? What do you mean technically? What does that mean? How is she technically? It's like the people who use the word literally or basically. What do you mean technically? In which sense? How can you expect me to have a conversation with you when you don't even know what you're talking about? What do you mean by technically? Are there schematics that you would like to bring to this presentation? Because technically means basically. What are your qualifications and what are your technical expertise that allows you to go ahead and look at somebody and say, on a technicality, they're this way? What technicality are you referencing? What's your primer? This isn't debate, and I'm not trying here to knock her. But this is not an exchange of ideas. This is literally just people saying stuff, and there's nothing that's going to get solved from this conversation.
But, if we're bringing up stuff from the past, we can say she slept with Willie Brown, broke up a family just to get her job. And while she was there, she used a firm that was putting people in jail that had false positives on drug tests. And she knew they had false positives. She admitted to that. And she was still putting mainly black and brown people in jail, considering I'm both. That is very much...
Well, that's because predominantly in California, they make up most of the crime. I'm just sorry, you don't want to agree with that, but I really don't care. Bobby Richardson, thank you so much for your donation. We appreciate you.
A big issue for me. And also that a woman shouldn't represent, they should just sleep to the top for their job. They should actually work hard for it. I generally don't think that she's a good representative.
Here we go, generally. I technically, basically, generally, literally agree.
There's plenty of other women out there.
Yeah, I have a question. How many votes did she get in a run for AG? Do you know?
4.5 million.
How many votes did she get in a run?
About
4.5 million votes.
Character, though.
Of course.
We'll
talk
character
about
and morals.
Now, that's a great argument. See, she's like, you only wanted to talk about character and policy. You didn't want to talk about overall vote and election integrity. So now you want to change the subject. So your entire argument right now is it's wasted. She did a great job there. You didn't want to talk about the election. You said you want to talk about character and policy. That has nothing to do with the election. So that question is invalid to your argument, unless you would like to go ahead and rephrase your statement and now add election integrity or overall election results or qualifiers during the election.
And if we're mentioning character and morals here, she's clearly not a good person.
I'm responding to your
just
claim.
like you had mentioned all that stuff about Trump, which could be true.
I'm
She's
referencing
an
your claim that she.
and a family.
I'm referencing
record.
your claim that she slept to the top. How many votes did she get when she was running?
4.5 million.
I mean, for AG and DA in the state of California.
But that has nothing to do with the fact.
It does. She got
someone.
4.5 million votes in total. 80 million for her run for AG or DA. I don't remember which one. And then 4.4 million for the other one.
Okay, outstanding. So, first of all, fantastic point, kid. I'm glad you remembered it. Now, this is how you end the conversation. Did I practice this? No. I don't need to practice this. Here's how we end the conversation. So what you're saying is Kamala Harris gained 4.5 million votes as a prosecutor and attorney general, is what you're saying. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So I'm assuming you bring this up. Why? Then let them answer. Well, simple. Because I believe that she earned her position with votes. And 4.5 million votes was more than sufficient for her to win her election as prosecutor and AG. Okay, so to make sure I understand what you're saying is that a person should receive a large enough vote based upon the constituency and the overall amount of voters that is equivalent to 51% of the vote in order to be elected into a position. Is that correct? Yes. Great. Well, then now we're talking about the qualifications for president. Is that correct? Yes. Then Kamala Harris is disqualified because she's never received a primary vote, and now she is the Democrat nominee. So you basically have undercut your entire argument, and Kamala Harris is not qualified to be president. Thank you very much, and have a nice fucking day. There's no more debate. It's over. Because he wanted to make the debate about one thing. He wanted to make about what he said. So all I have to do is just devalue and destroy his argument, which his argument's over. The whole entire premise was that Donald Trump is better, nanny nanny boo boo, stick your head in doo doo, or Kamala Harris is. Well, I just showed you that based upon your premise, Kamala Harris did not receive one vote to be the Democrat nominee. In fact, Joe Biden received 14 million votes. So if we're just going to go on a sheer number of scale of 4.5 million times 14.5, let's go ahead and just take California, where she ran in 2020, and she didn't even get one primary vote. She didn't even get a half of a primary vote. So it's even less than what you said. She can't get negative vote, so she got 0, which even undercuts your argument even more, that Californians had decided that she's not effective to be president, but was effective to be a prosecutor or AG. So which one is it? Is it that she's qualified or not qualified? Because if I'm not mistaken, Donald Trump is a Republican nominee and had a sufficient number of primary votes to be elected president. So based upon the argument that you didn't make, that the election is now critical, along with policy and character, you've undercut your argument further because you completely left out something that you feel is important, because all you wanted to do was play grab ass and just say things at 140 miles an hour with no real meaning to what you said. This isn't a debate. These are a bunch of children who don't know shit. And they're pretending that they're Ben fucking Shapiro and they're the next great Candace Owens when they're neither, and they're not. Because it takes years of discipline to understand how to have a conversation with a human being that actually gets somewhere. And you want to know where I learned most of it? From being married. Thank you so much, Paul. You're the best.
I have a question. You're saying that she slept her way to the top. How many of those 4.5 million people that voted for her did she have to sleep with?
Well, you know, obviously we're in California, and this is pretty corrupt, but to say that she needed the votes of most people that matter, which is the person she slept with, could actually overturn and hide these votes just like they did with the election. But
listen, the idea that women have to sleep with men to get into positions
and that's
of power
exactly what she
is
did.
a misogynistic lie.
One
moment.
She's saying that
you mind if I finish talking real quick?
We have to
Wow, you interrupted her. Okay.
open our legs to get jobs. That's exactly how she used it.
Do you mind if I just finish talking real quick? Also, I would like to finish out this conversation. There's a lot of red flags up, though. So saying that women have to sleep with men to get into positions of power is a misogynistic lie. What you are doing?
Say that. She just
one
did
moment.
that.
One moment.
That's what she represents.
What you are doing? What you are doing is you are taking Kamala Harris. You are taking her character. You are taking her proposed policy. You are taking her intelligence, and you're taking her wisdom, and you're throwing it out of the window. Because when you say that the only
Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and rate intelligence and wisdom, which are two different things. And the best way that I can discern between intelligence and wisdom is Edith Bunker. That's wisdom. Richard Nixon, wisdom, but not too intelligent. Fair enough? Great. And now we got to talk about hope and change, and we got to talk about her feel-good, joy feelings. I thought you said you wanted to talk about character and you wanted to talk about policy. You just listed another 17 things that you want to talk about. I think you need to slow down, and I think you need to establish what you want from this conversation, because I don't think I can answer your questions, because I don't even think you know what you're trying to ask. There's no reason for this girl to keep spinning her gears. Obviously, Kamala Harris did not sleep her way to the top. Kamala Harris had relationships and used infidelity with people in positions of power to influence her ability to get where she is. There's a very big difference. She didn't fuck her way to be an AG or prosecutor, but she put herself in a position by opening her legs to achieve certain greasing of the wheels, so to speak, in order to put herself in position to get there. She slept with some very influential people. She was on a scene that was kind of the underbelly of San Francisco, which was the rap scene and the music scene, also with Montel Williams. She had some luxury. She got to be known for her overall being a sidearm to a lot of influential people. And then she went and fucked Willie Brown, who happened to be in a position over her, which obviously would create not nepotism, but some favoritism because he used to diddle her. Or if he didn't diddle her anymore, that could ultimately impact his career in a negative way, considering that he was married at the time. How hard is this? So no, she didn't fuck 4.5 million people. So what you're saying ultimately is an impossible thing. First of all, it's a logical fallacy. What you're doing is you're making something that is an impossible question to answer because the realism of it is zero. It's a ridiculous notion. It's a logical fallacy. There's no substance to what you're saying. Now, if you're asking me, did she sleep with somebody and gain influence? More than likely, because that's what happens when you sleep with people who you work with. Either it ends up really bad or it ends up good for your career. That's usually what happens.
She's in her position of power today is because she slept with a man that had been legally divorced for 3 years is a lie. She got 4.5 million votes to get into AG and DA and slept with 0 of them. The question I have
the question is, was she sleeping with him before he was divorced? That's the question you should ask.
Oh, you don't know that, though. Do you know that? No.
Okay.
Absolutely
so
not.
You think that she slept with 4.5 million people to get in her position of power?
But the one person that she did was the most important person.
Did you just say that she had to sleep with 4.5th million people?
No, I didn't say that. I said that she slept with one of the most relevant people to get her job.
What was his name?
Get in. Willie Brown.
And how did sleeping with Willie Brown get her the 4.5 million votes in her run for AG&DA?
Because he was in the same position she needed to get.
But we have civil and electoral processes. We are a constitutional republic with democratic processes. Yes, I do.
Oh my God. I would like to invite either of those children onto my show so I can spank them properly. Folks, I will tell you, Idiocracy is probably one of the best movies that you can watch to really kind of surmise where we are as a country. That's not intellectualism. That's not even a respectful conversation. Those two people should be literally sharing drinks and wanting to bone or not. That should be the entire relationship at this point at their age. He should be like, dude, she's fucking hot, and she should be making a decision whether he is or not. He's not. But that's as far as that relationship should be going right now. It should be transactional. They should be in a bar hitting on each other, and then that's it. And they should be having basic conversation to identify whether there's enough in common to make a big mistake. But their first thought is to literally despise each other based upon who the other person is voting for. There's something wrong with this country. There is something wrong with this generation. The reason I said what I said at the beginning is, hey, no matter what happens tonight, I want to get your phone number. Is because that's what would be on my mind at that age. It wouldn't be about talking about who Kamala Harris diddled when I was 6 years old. What in the fuck is wrong with this country? What happened to men and women courting each other? What happened to mutual respect? What happened to letting people finish? This entire thing is MTV Real World? And I don't understand it. I would kill to have both of them on my show. And honestly, I would just sit down and say, you two, what the hell's wrong with you both? Can I ask you a question that's completely unrelated to politics? Just seriously, can I just ask you a 50-year-old creeper question? When she sat down, did you find her attractive? When he sat down, did you find him attractive in any way, shape, or form? What the hell is wrong with you two? Why are you guys just like so in punani and that you can just negate relationships with people who are attractive who are sitting across from you? Why are you worried about Kamala Harris and Donald Trump? What does that have to do with your future and your life? Do you think in 10 years from now that you're going to give a flying fuck about Kamala Harris and Donald Trump? Then why do you care now? You should be figuring out what college you want to go to. You should be figuring out what job, if you want to go work, if you want to join the military, whether you want to have kids early, whether you want to get married. You should be thinking about so many different things other than Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. There's something wrong with this world, man. If a girl like that sat across from me, I would do everything I could not to piss her off. The premise of the show is ridiculous. They aren't experts. They're people with opinions, and they're not there to learn. They're there to trounce other people so they get internet clicks. I will tell you this. You want to come on my show, you may get trounced, but I'm not doing it for clicks. I'm doing it because I fundamentally disagree with what you're saying. Not technically, not mechanically, not artificially, not basically, not in any way, shape, or form. I fundamentally disagree with what you're saying. And I'm going to present my point to you. And we can have an exchange of ideas with mutual respect. The moment that you cross that line and decide that mutual respect turns into mutual combat, I will be more than acquiesced to your request, and I will bring it like the thunder and Mount Sinai and tablets if you want me to. But ultimately, we should be trying to find things that we have in common so we can talk about things. In no way, shape, or form do either of them know what the other one thinks, what makes the other one tick, or why they think the way they do. I would have loved to seen that kid who is so smart, that blonde kid. He has a ginger, whatever. He has a very smart mind. Nobody can rattle off stuff like that. But I also saw him in a conversation with Afghanistan where he just got rocked. I would have loved for him to sit there and simply say, I have a question. Before we even start, why are you voting for Donald Trump? And I'm going to tell you why I'm voting for Kamala, and maybe we can find some mutual ground here. Because this doesn't have to be an argument. This doesn't have to be that I make you look bad and you make me look bad. It's not that hard just to be civil to people. I don't know. All right, folks, that's all I got. It really is. I mean, I have more, but I'm not going to go any longer. It's 9:30. It's too damn late to do more. So let's do this. Let's agree to meet each other tomorrow. By the way, I have to show this last one. And here's why I'm so frustrated at this. Because there is nothing worse than a white guy explaining racism to a black guy. Here it is.
Making the rules. Okay. When he was in office, he gave opportunities.
I want you to see how he treats the black guy. The level of reverse, no, it's not reverse. The level of racism, scratch it. It's not racism, prejudice. The white guy feels that he needs to be respectful to the black guy because of white guilt. And he doesn't treat the girl like that, which inherently is sexist and prejudice and a little bit racist at the same time. Why won't somebody point that out? Why can't this black guy, and he does a great job of arguing Donald Trump, just simply say, hey man, why are you talking to me different than you talk to her? She's a brown woman. I'm a brown man. Don't talk to me like you talk to her. Treat me the same. I don't need any special treatment from you. You don't need to explain to me what racism is, but you can go ahead and try. Damani would have eat that kid up for dinner.
Zones, gave funding to HBCUs. He also implemented the First Step Act, which I feel like liberals really focus on, like, oh, our prison system has a majority of African Americans in there. So we gave them an opportunity to get out early, to start a new life. So I think if we're going to go back and look at some stuff in the 1970s, that's not really fair, because there's a lot of people on the Democrat side that have done worse things while in office. Joe Biden, who, when he was a senator, pushed to get African Americans incarcerated at a higher rate. Like, actions speak louder than words at the end of the day. And what Trump did in office helped the Black community at an exponential amount compared to all the other administrations on the Democratic Party.
Okay, so you're saying what he did in office helped African Americans more than other administrations?
Yeah.
You referenced historically Black universities. Mm-hmm. Do you know how much funding he sent to HBCUs?
A decent amount.
I do.
Decent amount. I can't give you the exact
So the
number.
exact amount was $250 million per year.
Okay.
Do you know how much Obama's administration and Biden's administration have sent?
I would like to hear.
Obama sent $1 billion a year, and Biden sent $4 billion a year. So not only did he decrease funding to historically Black universities, all right, but also you referenced the First Step Act there. How did Donald Trump influence the First Step Act to get passed?
Through Congress.
Well, how did he influence that bill through Congress?
Answer that question for me.
Because he didn't influence it. In fact, it was proposed to Congress under Obama's administration, and it was shot down. Then something else I did want to
But at the end of the day, as president, he has the ability to sign or send a bill back to Congress, and he signed it. If he was truly racist, he would not have signed it in the first place.
Wow. Okay, so I got to do this. First of all, the black gentleman, I wish I knew his name. I hate doing that. Black guy. What an excellent conversation from his side. He was patient. He was getting a little frustrated, but he gave him permission to educate him. Why don't you tell me? Why don't you answer that question for me? It's fantastic. It's perfect. And his last comment was, if he didn't block it and didn't veto it, wouldn't that go ahead and negate your point? Because if you're going to base everybody's actions on legislation that they push through or the amount of money that they give people, let me ask you a question. How did that money, how was it spent? How did that money help Black individuals through the HBCU? Do you have any empirical data that will demonstrate that Obama and Biden helped more Black people by giving more money to the HBCU? Or did you find that the HBCU had to find alternative funding outside of government subsidy with fundraisers or with private investment or expanding their overall scholarships? What did you find out? Well, I don't know. Oh, well, then we can't have this conversation because I don't know either. But it's a good question. Second, you're expecting a conservative to actually give more money when their entire premise is to actually shrink spending? Also, you're talking about a total period of 16 years versus 4 years. Or 12 years over 4 years. So when you're talking about $250 million versus $1.8 million, if Trump was in for the same time, he would have given $750 million, which is a little bit more. But ultimately, you can't answer those questions. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to say that Donald Trump is racist because he didn't give more money to HBCU. But I just talked to you about opportunity zones. I talked to you about the Black Contract with America, Contract 2.0 for America. What did that do for Black people? Let's talk about criminal justice reform. Let's talk about how every single demographic outside of Black people demonstrated higher employment rates, from women to Chinese to Mexicans to Latino to whites to Blacks. Why don't we talk about that? If you also want to talk about that, we can talk about Chicago. We can talk about the 37 out of 50 cities which have the highest levels of felonious crime, which are owned disproportionately by Black African-American youth, who also have the highest murder and homicide rate, which are Black youth versus Black youth. Why can't we talk about that? What did Barack Obama do for Chicago when he promised that he would quelch and help the city from Black youth from committing homicide and genocide against each other? So I understand that you believe giving more money to an institution ultimately produces higher results, and I will tell you that it doesn't, because we can talk about the welfare system, and we can talk about Social Security, and we can talk about education, which is one of the largest amount of contributions that we give from the federal government to the state, and it is an abysmal failure. As of 44 years, our entire educational system is one of the lowest in the civilized countries in the world. However, we can look at literacy rates prior to the 1980s 1984 when it was actually created. And we can see that the literacy rate, the math rate, the overall science, and the STEM numbers for our youth in public education, the literacy rate was almost 100%. So please explain to me why you think public education is actually successful and why you should believe that collegiate institutions, which have plenty of opportunities to raise money on their own through sporting events, through overall donations from alumni, from nepotism that takes place in these academies, of why the government needs to subsidize black schools but not white schools. There's so many things in these conversations, and that's the problem, is that it's so ambiguous that there's no conversation that can take place that will answer all of these questions. So why don't we just ask this? Why don't you leave Donald Trump out of it? Why don't you leave Obama and Biden out of it and ask yourself the question, do we truly need government-funded schools for black HBCU and educational facilities? That's a debate. And the amount of conversation you can have from that one conversation might solve the energy crisis. You never know. But if you're going to sit here and say, oh, well, Obama and Biden gave more money, therefore Trump's a racist, that premise, once again, is a logical fallacy. Little things to think about. Anyway, I had a good night tonight. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I love a good debate. If anyone would like to come on, I will give you an open invitation. Please do. You can dial in at 804-212-2208, and I'll be more than happy to host you. We can have a conversation. We can have a good conversation, one that's specific and something that you want to debate that maybe we disagree on or that we agree on. It's fine. I'd love to have you. We'll be on tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Olivia will be on. I will be on. Amy will be on. You can go to thedumshow.com, pick yourself up a shirt, some coffee. Remember, best coffee in the world. Right here, I'm telling you, it is good stuff. It's got a 5-star rating on my site. You can go to wimkin.com. If you want free speech, please do so. Thanks for contributing. Thanks for donating. I will see y'all tomorrow. Good night.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.